Welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Liverpool against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League this evening. I'm Russ Rennan, your alternative host for the match, and we've got a two-pronged commentary team. We've got John, aka JB, alongside Freya Clothier. And before we hand over to JB, ready for kick-off, which is happening very, very soon at Anfield for the match this evening. Freya, looking ahead to this one, then it should be a good game. What are you hoping for tonight, Freya, in the match between Liverpool and Atletico Madrid? And a very good warm welcome to the commentary to you, Freya, making your debut this evening.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I'm very much looking forward to this one. Everything is hoping up for this to be a good one. 3-2 the last game these sides met, and I'm hoping for a similar amount of goals this time this evening. So let's hope so.
Yes, and if you're looking at the two sides, obviously Liverpool with a familiar-looking front three in Salah, Jota and Mane, and then the midfield of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho and Henderson. I'll run through all the team. JB will do that in a second. But Andy Robertson on the bench for Liverpool tonight. Do you think Robertson will be a big miss for Liverpool tonight, Freya?
I wouldn't say a big miss. He's obviously a great player, but they've got great cover there this evening, so I don't think it'd be a big miss at all. He's a great player, and if they need to bring him on, I'm sure they'll do so.
Yes, and looking at the Atletico Madrid side, Luis Suarez back at Anfield tonight. I know he came back when he was with Barcelona, but back again tonight with Atletico Madrid. Do you think he'd be looking to get one over on his former club, Freya, ahead of this match tonight?
Yes, absolutely. He's an absolute top goal scorer, and he celebrated last time when he scored for Barcelona, so I wouldn't put it past him getting one tonight and celebrating in front of the Kop. But yeah, exciting to see him back here, and for the sake of football, let's hope he gets a goal or two.
Yes, and a very warm welcome to Paul James, who is listening all the way in Canada this evening. Hopefully you're doing okay. We'll be handing over to JB very, very shortly. The players are just about to get ready to emerge from the tunnel in the stew at Anfield tonight. We're getting ready for this brilliant coverage. And Fred, just had a kick off, just one final just before we do fetch JB in, our match commentator tonight. And Fred, ahead of this one, what is your prediction? Do you reckon it'll be a Liverpool win, Atletico Madrid win, or do you reckon it'll be a draw tonight, Freya?
I am going to go for a Liverpool win. I'm going to go 2-1. Salah and Oxlade-Chamberlain with the goals for Liverpool, and Luis Suarez to get on the score sheet for Atletico Madrid. I think Salah's been world class this season already, and it has been the last couple of years. So I don't doubt he'll get a goal tonight. And I think Ox from out the box will get a goal. He done so in the game against Man City a few years back, and let's hope he gets a goal tonight and returns to the form he showed a couple of seasons back before he got the injury. Yeah, so 2-1 Liverpool as the players come out here at Anfield.
Yes, and with the players about to emerge and just coming out now, let's hand over to your match commentator alongside Freya Clothier. His first. Very good evening to JB.
Thanks, Ross. And I can tell you that Freya is running the 100 yards to join me in the commentary box as the teams are now out to a vast strains of You Never Walk Alone, the great Anfield anthem that has been played since the early 60s, of course, written by the late, great Jerry Marsden of Jerry and the Pacemakers fame. Luis Suarez is here. One notable absentee for the Atletico Madrid tonight, which Freya and Russ didn't tell you about, is Antoine Griezmann. He's suspended this evening as the teams now line up in front of us on a very cold night on Merseyside. Well, all the talk really, could Suarez come back? Well, I'm hoping for a good game of football. That's what I'm hoping for tonight. Freya's come for a 2-1 win. We'll bring her in a few moments' time. But I'm sure you want to know the only important team news. It's 4-3-3 as expected for Liverpool, with Alisson, their regular goalkeeper, in goal. And then it's a back four tonight of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He plays at right back. Then Mesquiles, the great, will play on the left-hand side in preference to Andy Robertson, who drops to the bench. Van Dijk and Matip are the two centre-backs. And then a three of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho, and the captain, Jordan Henderson. And it's Mo Salah, Diego Jota and Sadio Mane up front. Bobby Firmino amongst the bench. On the bench, in fact, are two goalkeepers, Adrian and Kahela. Konate, who played really well against Manchester United the other week. Thiago, Firmino, Minamino, the Japanese international. Andy Robertson, Divock Origi, who scored big goals in Europe over the years. Phillips, Nico Williams, and Morton. The referee tonight, all the officials, in fact, come from the Netherlands. Danny Makelele is the referee. The two assistants are Neso Sextra and Jan de Vries. Dennis Heigler, the fourth official, and Paul van Boko of the also from the Netherlands. Oblak in goal, Jan Oblak in goal for Atletico Madrid tonight, and then it's Philip, Jose Jimenez, and Mal Somo in defence. Rodrigo De Paul will play as an anchor man in the midfield, and then it's former Burnley player Kieran Trippier on the right hand side, and Carrasco on the other flank on the left hand side, and then it's Correa and Coca, the captain, in the centre midfield, and then it's Luis Suarez and João Felix up front as the teams now prepare their final roll-up. Let's bring in Freya now alongside me tonight. You said it was 2-1. You predicted before. How do you fancy this one? A very, very cold, brisk night at Anfield.
Yes, it is very cold here. That is very true. It's everything you expect here at Anfield, a European night. The crowd are ready and roaring. I'm still sticking by 2-1 with that man Suarez to get one goal for Atletico, and Salah and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with the goals for Liverpool. Let's hit this goals.
Absolutely, and the Liverpool players taking the knee on the ongoing battle against racism, not just in football, but in life in general as well. And it just shows the Premier League message that we keep reiterating week in, week out. There is never any room in life or football for racism or any sort of sport, come to think of it. Anyway, Atletico Madrid in the blue shirts, all blue, street getters underway. They're attacking the cup in the first half. The end of the ground where Luis Suarez bagged a lot of goals in the red of Liverpool many, many moons ago, but his star has been overshadowed by that of Mo Salah, who at the moment is the best player in the world. If you take out Maxwell Cornet out of the equation, he's my new hero at the moment, being a Burnley fan. Anyway, Carrasco is in on the far side for Atletico Madrid. Early crossing there, turned away by Fabinho. And a terrific atmosphere on a European night here. You're live on JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, TC Up 2 and the TC Up itself. We're also on Twitter and Twitch. We're not on Periscope anymore, folks, if in case you're wondering why I've not mentioned Periscope for a little while. We're not on that platform anymore, but we are sponsored for the season by Melon Streaming App. You can check them out at www.melonstreamingapp.com. And of course, Freya, of course, alongside me, will have to choose a player of the match a little bit later on, Freya. So in the second half, Freya, you'll have to get your thinking cap on as the free kick comes in there. And it's a cracking, I reckon. Freya could be right about one thing. I think it could be a lot of goals in this game. Let's hope that don't put the mockers on it.
Let's hope that's the case. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's mention about Fabinho being back in the midfield. They need him back. They're struggling for midfielders with the likes of Harvey Elliott, Naby Keita, and James Milner being out. So it gives the chance of Ox and Fabinho to shine tonight, and of that I think they will.
Absolutely, Freya. Anyway, ball back across, and number 22, Amelso gets it away, but only as far as Salah. Salah now switches the play towards the near side, and Simiskas now gets the ball, but he's lost possession that time, and a throw in to Atletico Madrid. 2 minutes gone, and nice to have you all with us. Thank you, Paul, for tuning in. Paul is a regular subscriber to my channel and obviously comments a lot on the videos. Nice to have you with us. Kieran Trippier, the former Burnley player, will take the throw. Also stated in the press that he'd like to play for Sean Dyche again in his twilight years of his career. There's his current manager, Diego Simeone, the former Argentinian skipper. You may remember France 98 for a little bit of listeners of a certain vintage. I certainly remember it as a 14-year-old at the time when he was involved in that David Beckham sending off in that never-to-be-forgotten World Cup game in Saint Etienne. Alisson now playing sweeper keeper and getting the ball out towards Mo Salah. He did really well there, the Brazilian. But the ball breaks on the far side. And Atletico Madrid, really good sides, winners of La Liga last season in a very big tussle between them and their Spanish rivals Barcelona, who have been really hit hard time since losing Lionel Messi, to be perfectly frank with you, as De Paul is fouled there by Jordan Henderson. And really sad what's happening to Barcelona, by the way, and Real Madrid to a certain extent. Both clubs in Spain now in significant debt, but certainly gives Atletico Madrid the chance to win a few La Liga titles, and they're favourites to do so. Suarez goes in there, and João Felix too. And an early opening there for Atletico Madrid there, and João Felix just maybe a boot size away, Freya, from getting the opening goal.
Yes, absolutely. Touching distance from his foot to the ball. If he got a foot on that, that's almost the goal, you have to say. But yeah, still 0-0. It's been a slow start, I'd have to say, but I think it's only going to go up from here as Oxlade-Chamberlain's on the ball and he plays it forward to Salah.
He does, and well, as you say, Freya, things can only get better in the words of the song. And it's also worth noting, and I don't want to put the mockers on it, but I haven't had, since I've been working for the TCL since the summer, from memory, I can't remember having a 0-0 as a live match. I know I've had a recorded 0-0, Burnley-Norwich, but that was a game full of incident, let me tell you. But we haven't had a 0-0 yet. Well, I certainly haven't. Anyway, in any of the games I've covered so far this season for the TCL ball in the Euros that passed during the summer. Here's Mane now picking up possession for Liverpool, but concedes the throw. Former Southampton player, of course, Sadio Mane, had that goal disallowed, of course, at Anfield on Saturday against Brighton for a handball when Sanchez was dilly-dally inside his 6-yard area, and it's just ricocheted off his hand. It was initially given as a third Liverpool goal, and then it was chalked off for VAR, and that sort of spurred Brighton into life and got a 2-2 draw, which really was a turn up for the book, really, in that respect, because you don't really expect Liverpool in front of a partisan crowd to give up 2-goal leads at Anfield. Anyway, here they come again now on the ball, all in red. Liverpool attacking the Anfield Road end, which is going to be redeveloped, I believe. There's a planning permission in from the local Liverpool Council to get this stadium up to 65,000. It's a cauldron of noise. And there's the Atletico Madrid fans away to our mine and Freya's left-hand side. There's about 1,000 of them, maybe less than that actually, but they are making as much noise as they dare to make here as the ball is spreaded through to form a Liverpool charge. Suarez, and he goes down there. Matic was strong. Referee telling Suarez to get up there. I'm not sure I think it was purely accidental, Freya, but just for a moment I thought Suarez was going to get in behind, but I think the collision, I think you'll agree, between Matip and Suarez was quite comfortably accidental.
Yeah, if that was given as a penalty, it'd be very tame, but it just shows you he can cause a threat, and he's in front of the Kop end, and I could just see it now, him scoring in front of the Kop, and yeah, you won't have a pleasant reception if that is the case. Yeah,
and meanwhile we've got a player down. It looks like Trippier's gone down. Free kick as Tsimikas, the Greek, has fouled Kieran Trippier. As I said, he's wanting to play for Sean Dyche a little bit later on in his career. That's what he said in a newspaper interview a couple of weeks back. Make no secret of the fact that Sean Dyche gave him an opportunity when he was at Burnley, and the referee wants words. Of course, we do have VAR tonight, which could make things a little bit interesting. Paul Van Broeklo is the VAR assistant, and Tsimikas is going to be spoken to by Mr. Makelele, the referee in charge. And I'm pleased to report that Kieran Trippier is up and on his feet all right. It was a bit of an hefty challenge there. Clash of heads there, Freya. Trippier off first.
That's a nasty one, but luckily both players are up now and fighting for the ball again.
Absolutely right. And we've had 7.25 minutes here on the TCB and all the participating TCB channels, including JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and of course TCB 2. That's surely got to be a foul there on Mo Salah. It's got to be. Really ridiculous free kick and an early booking there, and Moso now's got to watch his step, Freya. I didn't really see it from the far side. Salah gets the ball here. Let's have a look. I'm just having a look here. Oh, the ball's gone. That's definitely a yellow card. I think you can agree with that.
Absolutely shocking challenge. He's lucky to get a yellow, and it'll be on thin ice for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, Danny McAlery has got a bit of a reputation for showing yellow cards like confetti. I've worked on a few games with him refereeing before, and these foreign referees, they do tend to show the yellow cards a great deal more than our referees in the Premier League and the Football League. But Liverpool have a free kick, and it looks as if it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold, far side, into the penalty area it goes, well headed away by the Madrid defence. And the ball now is flooded back to Fabinho. As Freya was saying, it's good to see him back in that midfield tonight. Now they've missed their industry. Mind you, they haven't missed him too much. Mo Salah's been getting most of the headlines, including surely it's got to be that goal at Watford the other week. That was purely and simply one of the goals of the season. Got a hat-trick at Old Trafford in a game I covered. And it was just, he's had an unbelievable season. We thought he was having a good season a couple of years ago in that championship winning side for them, where they won their first championship since 1990. But I think in terms of his numbers, I think he's having a really good, giving himself a good account of himself. And he gets the ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold, far side. Henderson in support inside the Atletico penalty area, but the ball knocked away, and away comes number 5 here, De Paul. But he loses possession, and the ball out of play on the far side. And Fabinho again, showing what you said earlier, the value of having him in midfield for is absolutely paramount, really.
Yeah, vital, and I'm sure all the fans will be buzzing to see him back, especially as I mentioned before, the injuries they have. They can't really rely on the youth to get them where they want to be. Yeah, absolutely vital that he's back, and I'm glad he's back here at Anfield tonight.
And indeed he is. But here come Atletico Madrid here, as these two teams trying to warm up everybody here on a very cold night at Anfield. If you're listening to this game at home, get the kettle on, get the central heating on, and enjoy mine and Freya's description of this super game for you. Koke now in possession. Ball threaded out towards Carrasco on the far side. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the defender in front of him. Still Carrasco, Yannick Carrasco. Ball played in there towards the penalty area, and it was Semiskas who got back. And in the end, it's hooked away by Liverpool towards halfway. We've had 10 minutes gone on the TC Hub. Champions League football for a Wednesday night. Russ Vernon in the presenter's chair. JB, John Stuttard, and Freya alongside us in the commentary box. Alongside me in the commentary box, our answer to Karen Carney. Sorry, Freya.
Thanks for that one.
Yeah, well, a knowledge of the football. Well, I think Karen Carney is the best knowledgeable female pundit around, and Freya's not too far behind in that terms of knowledge. Here's Suarez now as he gets the ball in. It comes off Joe Matip, one of the two centre-backs, and a corner kick. It is for Atletico Madrid. So let's see this corner out. Of course, we've got FA Cup football to tell you about a little bit later on. And I'm proud to say that I'll be doing the Dagenham and Redbridge game on Monday. That's my next live commentary coming up with the Hub. As we're going to see this corner then from the near side here. UEFA Champions League on a Wednesday night. João Felix, the Portuguese to take it short. And get it back again from Correa. And Correa's got it behind down that near side, and the cross absolutely bisected everyone. But just for one horrible minute, from a Liverpool point of view, it looked as if Correa had got him behind that Liverpool defence, and just that final crossing product was lacking. It may have been offside in any case. And the ball was knocked away. 12 minutes gone. We've lost Freya for a second or two, but we'll get her back shortly, as the ball is now with Atletico Madrid. Felipe gets the ball back, and the ball now threaded out to Kieran Trippier, the Burnley man. Trippier now gets the ball forward. Long ball forward there, cut out by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who gets it on halfway. Feeds Jordan Henderson now. Henderson over the halfway line. And at the moment, it's Alexander-Arnold's crossing into the box. Jota, who scores for Liverpool! Diego Jota has played it in. He will be checked on VAR for sure. But Jurgen Klopp applauds the goal. A terrific moment for Liverpool.
Yes,
And
is that man Salah yet again with the assist. He's on fire, but Jota was there in the perfect position to get the goal, and it's 1-0 Liverpool. The Kop go wild, Anfield go wild. Klopp's happy for it. Of course he is. 1-0 Liverpool. They will be checking for offside here.
he's not off. He's not
He's
off.
not off.
Goal will stand. What about that for a cross, though? What about that?
My mistake is Trent Alexander-Arnold with the cross. Great ball in by him.
It was actually by him, and I did actually describe that. But it's a wonderful start for Liverpool and a vitally important night for them. And as Freya says, what a good finish that is. Jota does what he does best. That's sort of akin really to the goal he got at Old Trafford the other week, where he's always in the right place at the right time to get the crucial touch on inside the 6-yard area. And with 13 minutes gone, or nearly 14 minutes gone here on the TC Hub, Jota has scored the opening goal. 1-0 to Liverpool. Terrific performance so far from them. And Freya, we don't have a goalless draw. And my great record of being the lead commentator on a live TC Hub game without a goalless draw continues. So I'm an happy man now, whatever happens. But real problems now for Simeone's side.
Yeah, that's brilliant news for you. Yeah, problems for them indeed. They sit in third, Porto drawing at Milan earlier tonight, so they'll be pushing forward and they need.
Oh, hang on, there's a yellow card. Sorry to interrupt you. There's a yellow card coming out for Mane. Must have been a late challenge on the paw, maybe. But there's a card coming out, and Danny Makelele, by the sounds of it, is going to stand no nonsense. But in fact, I think it might have been Correa who was fouled there. Henderson, if he's not careful, he'll get the yellow card as well. He's just got to keep his mouth shut at this point. Jordan Henderson, the England international. Let's have a look what happened. Correa and Mane was in there. It was Correa who had a bite at Mane first, and then I wonder if we didn't see the actual replay. Anyway, we're back live with we've got the feedback. The action replay didn't really reveal what actually happened to Mane unless he said something out of turn to the referee. We'll try and get another replay on the screen and trying to interpret that as best we can in a moment. There's another tangle of players going down there. This time Jota's the man down. I think it's going to be a free kick. Now Koke's involved. It's just starting to get a little bit feisty out there now, Freya, as we've gone past the quarter hour mark. Liverpool leading 1-0.
Yes, feisty, that's for sure. You kind of expected it. The last game 3-2, obviously Griezmann getting sent off. That was a feisty one, and so is this. I think it shows the tenseness between both managers. There is definitely tension there, and that's shown on the pitch. But yeah, 1-0 Liverpool there. They're looking for another now.
Yeah, and indeed, in fact, they met 2 weeks ago in that game that Freya was talking about, and both managers did not shake hands, although there was a bit of it was quite amicable afterwards in the post-match interviews. This mask gets the cross in, it's a turn behind by a corner, and Jurgen Klopp's been every second of it turned away by Trippier, the former Burnley player. We've had 16 minutes gone across all the TC Hub participating channels, including TC Hub 2, JB Sports, my own channel, JDAT Football, John Kane's channel, and Storm FM, Mike Harneman's channel. We're also on Twitter and Twitch. Here comes the corner into the area, but taken by Young Oblak again. And he bowls it out, and he gets good distance, and he finds Carrasco, but Henderson across there for Liverpool really read the situation perfectly well, because if Carrasco had got the ball there, he would have been clean through. Fabinho now gets possession 10 yards from halfway. And the pass is completed 78-48 in Liverpool's favour and 60-40 in possession in Liverpool's favour with only 17 minutes of the game gone. But it's been a really good start to the game. After a slow first 5 minutes, it really has grown into some gameness now. Of course, Liverpool have maximum points from their first 3 games. And as Freya was saying a few moments ago, that Atletico are down in third because of the 1-1 draw between Porto and Milan earlier this evening. Milan off the mark with their first points of the campaign. So maybe Milan, if they can get another couple of wins, they might not be out of the reckoning, maybe for the second spot, or maybe a Europa League spot later on in the season. Now, of course, we've got FA Cup action coming up in a few over the next 4 days. 4 live commentaries in the next 4 days. As Liverpool comes storming forward again. Mane has it left-hand side. Marnie will take on Trippier. Whips him for pace. Good cross into the penalty area. Turned away there by Jimenez. And then the goalkeeper from the up and under takes possession. But again, Sadio Mane there showing his worth on that left-hand side rather. Whipping Trippier as if he wasn't existing. And in the end, Atletico Madrid getting off scot-free a little bit.
Yes, it might be worth mentioning Trippier played the part in the Tottenham versus Liverpool final back in 2018-2019 season. Liverpool obviously winning that 2-0, Salah with a goal and Divock Origi.
Absolutely. I did the commentary that night for JB Sports, actually. But in fact, I did it on actually on Twitch because I was banned from YouTube for some peculiar reason that year. Anyway, Mane's picked up the loose ball on the edge of the area. Mane shoots, deflects, and Madrid just hook it away. Hooked by Crook as Fabinho now gets it back to Mr. Van Dijk. And now Alisson takes possession. Now Van Dijk has it. It's weird not to see Andrew Robertson on the field, but he is amongst the substitutes. And of course, due to suspensions and injuries and the like, we see that Atletico Madrid's bench is a little bit more sparse than what Liverpool's are. They have a full complement to choose from. Of course, whoever's involved in the matchday squads are substitutes. I think it's something like 3 can play at any one time during the 90 minutes. Anyway, here's Oxlade-Chamberlain in possession. Finds Mane, goes back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk again. Finds Matip on towards Fabinho on halfway. Alexander-Arnold round the corner to Salah, who's in such a hot streak at the moment, one of the best players in the world. As I say, apart from a certain Maxwell Cornet. But being Burnley biased, I'm not surprised.
Not biased at all.
As we look at Diego Simeone, he's done a great job at Atletico Madrid, if truth be told. But they got to a couple of European Cup finals in his tenureship. And the Madrid derby in 2014, where they lost after extra time, and a couple of years ago as well. So he's got experience of getting Atletico Madrid all the way to finals. It was just always that final hurdle that left them found wanting. Especially in 2014 when they lost to their near rivals. So in those days, Atletico Madrid were unstoppable with the likes of Bale and Ronaldo. And people like that, Mane chucks it in, it's 2-0! And Liverpool walking away with this. Absolutely for sure. They'll check it again on VAR, but I'm sure it's okay. The ball came in again from the right-hand side. And the perfect start for Jurgen Klopp's side. 21 minutes almost gone here. Suarez is complaining about something. Is it offside? We'll have to look at the rerun to try and work it all out. It came from a throw-in of all things. Then the ball was hooked towards the right-hand side. Mane starts to move here, actually. And then the ball is spread out to Henderson. And then it's Trent again with another assist. He's onside, all right. No doubt about that. What a wonderful move, Freya. And Trent Alexander, another assist for him. And Mane, didn't he take it so well?
Yes, is that Scouser again? The Scousers in the crowd will love that one. Looks as though it could have been a shot from Trent, but Mane's there to poke it in. Great finish, 2-0.
Absolutely. Suarez is absolutely fuming. I don't know what he's complaining about because there was no doubt at all that Mane was onside. And Suarez is a very colourful character. There's a chance there for a volley on the far side. It might have been Felix. And he's gone down in a heap while trying to volley that. He's okay, by the way. And here comes Liverpool again. But back comes Jimenez to get the ball back to the goalkeeper, Oblak, who's had no chance on both goals. But Liverpool looking at their imperious best. And Henderson wins possession. And it's really cheap possession here that Liverpool have got because Salah now is on his way. And Salah now will try to take on all comers. Here comes the shot. Oh, it's nearly free. It's Oxlade-Chamberlain with the right-footed effort that just goes wide of the left-hand upright. And, well, they talk about 2-0 being a dream scoreline at the halfway mark in the first half. If it had gone in there, Freya, and it would have been number 3, Liverpool would have been heavy. It would have been in heaven by now.
Absolutely, and I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would be gutted not to see that hit the back of the net. He's normally good from that sort of range, especially in the Champions League, but he sees a shot wide. I think it is also worth mentioning Liverpool were 2-0 up around the 25-minute mark, and they ended up drawing 2-2 with Brighton on the weekend. So that'll be in their minds, and Klopp be hoping that doesn't happen again here.
Absolutely, and we've got some. I've got some latest scores to tell you about around Europe, and of course we've got a championship red card. Lian Paul van Hekelen, I think that's how you can pronounce it. Anyway, Jan Paul van Hekelen of Blackburn Rovers, he's been sent off, and there's been some championship. There's been some goal updates. Blackburn 0, Fulham 2. Cabano and Mitrovic and Barnsley 0, Derby 1. Bolduc with the goal there. In the Champions League, it's Red Bull Leipzig 1, Paris Saint-Germain 0, and Phil Foden has scored for Manchester City. They lead Club Brugge by a goal to 0. And in fact, it's now 1-1 in that game. I'm just being told by Russ. It's a John Stones' own goal. So City there, not having it all their own way down at Eastlands tonight. But Liverpool certainly, in the first 24 minutes, has certainly had it all their own way. JB and Freya, your commentary team, alternate commentary team here for this game at Anfield tonight. A crucial Champions League game. You could argue the game of match day 4. Here's Carrasco now on the far side. The ball out of play of Alexander-Arnold. It will be a throw to Atletico Madrid. All in blue, remember. And they changed shirts. Liverpool, all in red. So if you are listening to our commentary, you've got the TV on, you can definitely distinct one from the other, absolutely for sure. As the Spaniards come charging forward again, and it's Trippier, the Englishman, playing the ball into the penalty area. Suarez is there. So too is Carrasco. Coca, the captain, plays it over to the far side. Here's Carrasco, far side. Alexander-Arnold to meet him. Good spell this for Atletico Madrid. Carrasco's shot is charged away. Salah will chase the loose ball inside his own half. Trippier wins possession. Midway inside the Liverpool half. Trippier again. And now here comes De Paul, the anchor man in midfield. Here's the ball played in there by João Felix, and then Liverpool having to knock it out for a corner. There's been some more goals in the game between Red Bull Leipzig and Paris Saint-Germain. Gini Ronaldo, the former Liverpool player, has just equalised. And Cardiff City, who are really struggling under Mick McCarthy, trail to a former Burnley striker's goal for Queen's Park Rangers, Andre Gray, after 37 minutes in that game. 7:45 kickoff, that one. Anyway, Atletico Madrid have a corner on the far side. 2-0 down they are as the ball played in there towards the area, and Alisson, under a little bit of pressure there from Felix, has to punch that one away. Still, here come Atletico Madrid. Ball again played in towards João Felix. Ball on the edge of the area, chipped in towards the right-hand side, and it's Suarez who's onside. Suarez now trying to take on the defender. Gets the cross in there towards the far post. Carrasco was waiting, but so too was Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Terrific defending by him, but Mane loses possession. And then the ball is out of play. So Atletico Madrid throwing. It's coming back at Liverpool again. Here comes Correa now into the area. Turned away by Matip. Carrasco again. Carrasco cross in there and turned away by Van Dijk. And surely now Liverpool should get this one away. But,
wow, what a game we have on our hands here.
Absolutely. It's been a terrific 26 minutes. And me and Freya are absolutely loving every second of it. It's been absolutely a real privilege for myself and Freya, the lovely Freya alongside me, to absolutely describe this one to you all. And it's nice to have commentary as well, because it gives my voice a little bit of rest in between breaks of play. Anyway, Coca now out to the far side. Here's Trippier. Trippier now trying to play the ball into the penalty area. Does so, but Liverpool snuff out the danger. Trippier now battles with Tsimikas, and it's out of play for a bit of respite to Liverpool. A goal kick has been given, but that was hair and scaring there for Liverpool in that 2 or 3 minutes that we've just seen there.
Yeah, it was all Atletico Madrid there for 2 or 3 minutes, like you say. It is worth mentioning Liverpool have secured their qualification as it stands. So if they win this game, they will be through to the last 16.
Yeah, good incentive for Liverpool tonight, but they'll want to try and get maximum points and keep their run going, of course. Free kick while Freya was talking. Foul on Mane by Coca, right down the near touchline. And, that is a horrible challenge. Absolutely kicked his shin. And I don't think he made any attempt, Freya, in my book, to play the ball. And I think Makelele's probably missed a trick.
Yeah, that didn't look like he attempted to touch the ball or get the ball at all there. He just clipped Mane in the ankle and he wasn't happy with it, that's for sure. But he's up now and Liverpool go again.
Yep, there's been a go in the Championship at Oakwell. Barnsley won. Victor Joe, try and say that quickly. He's equalised. It's 1-1 between Barnsley and Wayne Rooney's derby counter. Can't even say Wayne Rooney now. I have to get my teeth in, Freya. Anyway, it's 1-1 at Oakwell anyway. Sort of a local derby, really. There's about 25 miles between Barnsley and Derby in terms of distance, although Derby just in the East Midlands, Barnsley right in the depths of South Yorkshire. Former mining town, of course, Barnsley. Amongst other players, used to be the great colour comedian Charlie Williams. You won't know him. You won't know of him, Freya. It was a long time before your time. Ask your granddad about him.
Pulling out the stats left, right and centre, even with the comedians, eh?
Absolutely. I am from an age. I'm from a different generation. I'm 38 years old. I'm an old granddad in comparison to what I've got. This youthful co-commentator of mine alongside me. She's very youthful tonight, is Freya. I'm very bubbly and enthusiastic about the game and enjoying the co-commentary and in the banter as well. And we're enjoying Liverpool 2. Atletico Madrid 0 at the moment. It's the ball played over the top towards Mo Salah. It's a great ball from Alexander-Arnold to set Salah free. He's gone down the right. He's taken one. He's beaten another. Oh, and he just ran out of pitch. And I thought that come off a defender, but the goal kick has been awarded. But I thought for a moment Freya was going to repeat his super goal he got against Watford the other week.
Well, yeah, he got a super one against Watford. He also got one in a similar position to this against Man City here at Anfield a few weeks back. So I backed him to score there, but no, he ran out of pitch, like you say.
Well, at the end of the day, he's only human, like the rest of us. And you can't expect him to do it every week. Here's Henderson now to Salah. He gets it on that right-hand side again. But I tell you what, we've seen 30 minutes of absolute genius football from Liverpool, and they are playing some really good stuff. It's always a joy to commentate on Liverpool. If you ever get the chance as a commentator to ever commentate on this side, they are a privilege and a pleasure to watch. But I'm very disappointed, really, with Atletico Madrid's attitude to the game. I think they've been far overzealous in the challenges. I think they've been far over physical in the way that they've gone about this game. And apart from a 3-minute spell, they've been, quite frankly, absolutely feeble. Here's Mane now on the ball now. It's drifted out to the far side. And again, the referee's going to start showing cards at this rate because, in fact, he hasn't even given a free kick, I don't think. I was expecting the referee to give the free kick there. I'm very amazed he didn't give a free kick. That looked like a clear body check to me on Mane. Although, to be fair, I think he's actually taken that decision, or the non-decision, quite well, actually, to be fair. That's a body check, surely.
Well, it looked as though he just pushed him to the ground off the ball. I'm not too sure what that one's all about.
Well, Mane seemed to take that actually quite awfully well, to be all things considering. A sort of attitude to the game that a lot of footballers could take a good example from, really, because one or two of them do moan and groan for absolutely no reason. And if we saw a bit more graceful-like behaviour from a few of these so-called footballers, then I think the game would be a lot better for it. Anyway, Alisson has possession inside his penalty area, picks the ball up. And Suarez, well, it's not been a happy return for the Uruguayan. João Felix has been very quiet so far, but having said all that, a striker is only as good as his service. And I have to say the service at the moment has not really been non-existent. And maybe that was what Suarez was complaining about on the second goal, perhaps. And he hasn't had the service or had the way with all, or maybe the team haven't had the way with all, but things don't look very well in the Atletico Madrid camp. And Suarez has clearly pulled his man, or was it Felix? It was Felix, rather. He's pulled his man, and that's got to be a free kick. Virgil van Dijk, the man he was pulled. And the referee at this point, Freya, and if they keep doing this, Freya, all the night, the Spaniards, the referee will have no choice but to take action here.
Yes, like the last game, they're being very over-aggressive. They got a red card in the last game, and you definitely wouldn't bet against them getting one again tonight. They're just being over-physical. It's probably the frustration that they've been very poor in the opening half an hour or so. But yeah, Liverpool showing why they're unbeaten in the last 24 games, and it looks like they're going to extend that to 25 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very chasing in 33 minutes so far in this game, but so far it's been very tough for them. Liverpool 2, Atletico Madrid, if you just joined us. And we've got a apologies there, but just having one or two. I was just having one or two technical problems there for a second or two. And we're back now. Hopefully I'm back now. So we've got about 33 minutes gone in the game. And here goes Salah running at the defenders. Salah towards the edge of the area, but the defenders there.
Peter, we've just lost JB for a moment, so I'll just step in till we get JB back, as Liverpool just keep all the possession of the back with Matip across now into Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's coming forward with possession. Lovely bit of movement from the Ox into Diego Jota. Jota pulls it all the way back to Alisson, and that's good pressing from Atletico Madrid to force Liverpool back. As now Salah picks up on halfway, turns away from his man and clips the ball out wide. Look for the run of Tsimikas, the left back, in for Andy Robertson, who is on the bench this evening. We'll bring JB back in once we can get him back this evening, but we've not got him in as the referee's blown up here for a free kick to Atletico Madrid in the end there, and Diego Simeone watching on to try and get his troops how he wants them to finish this half. And looking at the first half so far, Fred, been a good first half. You'd have to say, I'll come back to that question in a moment, as the ball is played in towards Correa at the back post. Correa now picks it up, Koke with the ball in towards the penalty, headed away. Now Mane can break, and Mane is fouled, and there's a free kick to Liverpool, and there's going to be a booking here, I believe, for the Atletico Madrid player, which is the number 18, Philippe. There's a clear trip there on Mane. Now, as I was saying, Freya, you've got to say Liverpool do deserve to be 2-0 up at this moment in time, don't they?
Yes, absolutely. They thoroughly deserve the lead. Atletico Madrid, they haven't brought a lot at all. It's been very poor from them. Suarez will be gutted that he hasn't really had a chance so far to get a goal. But yeah, great start from Liverpool, and if you're going to bet against anyone to score the next, is Liverpool for sure. I'm sure Salah will be itching to get on the score sheet yet again and add to his 5 in the Champions League already this season.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, he sent him off. Is it sending off here?
Yeah, red card for Philippe. I think he was going to give him a yellow card, but then it's a red in the end. And I think due to complaining towards the official there for the red card, it looks as though Luis Suarez has picked up a yellow card. It's a red card for Atletico Madrid's Philippe, who was playing as one of the 3 centre-backs, and then Suarez went complaining to the referee, and he has appeared to have booked Luis Suarez. We'll get back to JB in a second, and I can tell you, after this attack for Liverpool, as Anderson into Fabinho just controlling the ball into Tsimikas out wide to Mane. Mane is not fouled. And then he fouls Carrera. And Atletico Madrid have a free kick. Bad foul there from Sadio Mane on Carrera. And just before I go back to JB, Fred, what did you make to that challenge there from Sadio Mane? And Koke has just been booked for complaining to referee.
Yeah, the tensions are flaring now. Challenges at left, right, and centre. Mane laughs as he gets up from the challenge. Yeah, it was a free kick. I think he's on a card, so he's got to be careful himself.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's hand back over to your match commentator alongside Fred Clovia. He's back over to JB.
Thank you very much. I lost sound there, folks, but I'm back with you now. It's all been happening whilst I've been enforced to be away, when I was enforced away, but a red card and now challenges going in. It's not a complete surprise that Atletico Madrid are completely losing their discipline at the moment. And the red card, I must admit, I was waiting, just about getting sound back at that point. And to be honest with you, Freya, the red card came as a bit of a surprise, but not in a sense, not really, because they spent most of the first half, and you and I can testify this, Freya, they've been speaking way out of turn to the referee, and it was only a question of time before his red card came out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said previously, they got a red card in the last game, and they've got one here again now. They need to sort themselves out when here comes Salah. Salah on the right-hand side.
The ball, anyway, we've got the ball anyway, and here is Salah now. Anyway, the ball is now forward. Here's Salah now. To Mane, back to Salah now. On the far side. Here's Salah again. Trying to take on the defender this time. Henderson is offering support, but again, Carrasco doing expertly well there. 39 God here. You're listening to the TC Hub. And of course, we've got 4 FA Cup commentaries. We've got one on Friday involving Colchester United. That will be live with Russ Vernon. He'll be doing the commentary on Friday night for you. Kick-off for that one, it's at 8 o'clock or 7:55. We'll be on the air around about 7:50 for that FA Cup tie. And then it's and then we've got another tie between Banbury and Banbury as well. They're involved on Saturday evening. They're involved, and their tie will be live as well. And you'll be able to hear that with us as well on TC Hub. And that's with Ryan Francis, of course, who myself and him worked an absolute treat on Saturday night. If you didn't, he was doing updates on Barnet, and I was commentating on Manchester United when there. And I just casually said, Freya, I don't know if you heard this, I casually said to him, is there going to be a winning goal? And as soon as we crossed over to him, by magic it was. I must have a telepathic understanding with everyone. But anyway, there was
magician.
Absolute. Well, I'm not sure about that. I think Paul Daniels is probably beyond me. And then on Sunday evening, we've got St Albans against Forest Green Rovers for you with Mike Harneman in the commentary box. That's at 5:15 on Sunday evening, and then it's my game on Monday night plus the second round draw. We've got Dagenham and Red Bridges. Oh, the shot came in from Salah. As I was talking to you about FA Cup stuff, and Mo Salah almost came up with one of the goals of the season. Chamberlain now on the ball for Liverpool. Into Fabinho. Fabinho now knocking it in there. Salah now on the edge of the area. Fabinho takes possession. And here's Chamberlain once more, running towards the left-hand side. Smixas with a cross, and it's straight at the goalkeeper. The header came in from something like 6 yards out. And Jan Oblak has made a superb save. Terrific piece of goalkeeping there with 4 minutes of the first half to remaining. Fabinho still has it. Mane's in there. I think it was Jota who had the header saved. And Liverpool so close there for Diego Jota to making it 2-0. We'll get Freya's thoughts in just a second here as Atletico struggle to clear their lines, and now they do. Here's Kieran Trippier now, and they can launch a counter-attack. Remember, Atletico Madrid down to 10 men in this game. And
yes, Jota should have scored. Oh, it should be 3-0. How did he not score? It's a great save from All Black, but yeah, that should be 3-0.
Yeah, Jimenez sent off is the is what happened whilst I was away. But Well, it's been a first half full of talking points, but it's a game mainly that hasn't disappointed as the ball is played in towards Trippier. The former Burnley man controls it, finds Correa. Correa now back to Trippier. Trippier now back inside to DePaul rather. And then the ball is lost and Mane can bring it out, plays a 1-2 with Chamberlain, and then Mane's first touch lets him down. And just to finish off the FA Cup ties, we've got Dagenham and Redbridge against Salford City, of course, the Class of 92's team, Gary Neville, the Neville brothers, Nicky Butt, and David Beckham involved in that. And they've got a very difficult trip down to Victoria Road to face Dagenham and Redbridge on Monday night. I'll be commentating on that one for you. Plus, we'll have news of the second round draw, which will come up immediately after the tie. And there will be replays if it does end a draw after 90 minutes, I should also add, in this season's FA Cup competition. So plenty of good football to look out for this weekend as we feature one or two of the lesser likes of the English game. And Luis Suarez has now been confirmed as a yellow card recipient, and it's not a great surprise because controversy and Luis Suarez, they seem to follow each other hand in hand. Anyway, there's been a goal in the game between Sporting Portugal. They're 3-0 up. 2 goals. Ronaldo has just scored a second for PSG. And it's been one of those nights so far where it's just been absolutely amazing so far. Goals galore all over Europe and across the championship at the moment. We're inside the last minute of normal time here on the JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, TCO2 and the TCO itself. We're also on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch, not Periscope. I need to get out that habit of saying that. But Liverpool, good value for their 2-goal lead. JB and Freya are your commentary team. And here goes Sismas now, coming down this left-hand side. Very difficult name to pronounce. All Greek to me. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, who shoots just wide of the target. He wants a foul, but I think the referee, having let it go on, has to let it go on, and he's never going to pull that back, Mr. Makelele. It won't be Diego Simeone's best friend in the moment. And then another late challenge there on Mane, which really did that not go unpunished? Or was it a yellow card? I wonder what that yellow card was for. It was Felipe. He's the latest recipient in the book. I think there must have been 3/4 of that team, Atletico team now free at this point. I think that's what the red card was for. That's why. But surely
Felipe was sent off earlier for his having a row with the ref. Really got himself a yellow, and then got his second yellow by just not giving up his argument with the ref, which is a stupid thing to do, especially with this referee. Yeah,
they don't accept decisions with good grace by the sounds of it. But Mr. Clark will be quite happy. The charismatic coach of Liverpool, of course, a terrific manager, and what a revelation he's been for Liverpool since taking over from Brendan Rodgers in 2015. Europa League final, Champions League winner, breaking that hoodoo, and then Premier League champions the next season. It's been a really good season. Of course, Liverpool last season weren't as good by their own standards. Simeone is fuming, but his team deserve to be where they are now, as we're into the second of 2 added on at the end of the first half, I should add. And we'll get Freya's final thoughts on what's been a terrific first half before we head back to Russ and himself and the lovely Freya Kovia have a bit of a chit-chat while I have a break, have a cup of tea and have a 4-fingered Kit Kat at half-time as Henderson now gets the ball on the far side, feeds Salah on the right-hand side. Salah now feeds Henderson, who first time crosses way into no man's land, out of play for a corner, or for a goal kick rather. So with about 10 seconds of stoppage time to go, Freya, what's been your assessment really of what's been a first half really, in some respects, littered with lots and lots of talking points as the referee's about to bolt for half-time?
Yes, Liverpool have been absolutely excellent. Salah will be hoping to get in the goals in the second half. Obviously, Atletico Madrid down to 10 men, so it would be all guns blazing in the second half. I would have thought from Liverpool and their attackers. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I predicted he'd get on the score sheet. He's had 2 chances at goal from outside the box, coming close but not quite scoring. I think he'll be wanting to hit the back of the net in the second half. But Liverpool have been absolutely excellent. Atletico, on the other hand, have been very poor and just aggressive. And I wouldn't want to be in the dressing room with Diego Simeone in the second half, in the half-time break, that's for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And plenty for him to do. He's got to earn his corner at half-time. Jurgen Klopp will be saying more of the same. But as you'll hear from Freya during the half-time interval, but it's time to head back to us. But a half-time score here at Anfield on what's been a terrific first 45 minutes, which has had so many talking points you would not believe. A red card and 2 magnificent Liverpool goals as well. It's Liverpool 2, 10-man Atletico Madrid 0 at half-time.
Thank you very much there to JB and to Freya. We'll be bringing Freya back in a few minutes. Let's just run you through rest of the scores around Europe. Then we'll start off with the Champions League, and in Group A, Manchester City are currently drawing 1-1 with Club Brugge, thanks to a goal early on for Manchester City through Phil Foden, only for John Stones to put through his net 2 minutes later. Also in the same group, RB Leipzig 1, Paris Saint-Germain 2, former Liverpool man Giorgio Wijnaldum has turned this game on the head after Nkunku scored for Leipzig after just 8 minutes. In Group B, which is the Liverpool group, AC Milan 1, Porto 1. Porto is a result. Porto took the lead through Diaz before Mbemba equalised by an own goal for AC Milan. Liverpool, as you heard, are 2-0 up at the break through Diego Jota and Sadio Mane against 10-man Atletico Madrid, who saw Philippe sent off in the 36th minute. Dortmund are 1-0 up against Ajax at the break. They are down to 10 men in Group C as well. Mats almost sent off on 29 minutes for Marco Reus, put them 1-0 up on 37 minutes. Sporting Lisbon 3, Besiktas 0 at the break. Pedro Gonçalves on 31 minutes from the penalty spot, and 38 minutes Diaz Fernandes with the third for Sporting Club de Portugal on 41 minutes. That's also in Group C. In Group D, Real Madrid beat Shakhtar Donetsk by 2-1 earlier. Karim Benzema opened the scoring before Santos Pedro. He pulled one back for Shakhtar Donetsk, but then a second half goal just after the hour mark for Karim Benzema made it 2-1 to Real Madrid in Group D. The other game in that group is at half-time. Sheriff Tiraspol are currently drawing 0-0 with Inter Milan. In the Championship, some half-time scores, second halves just getting underway in some of these, and some half-time scores coming, and an latest score coming up. In the Championship then, Barnsley 1, Derby County 1, Adebayo equalised for Barnsley on 39 minutes after Baldock put Derby 1-0 up. That's managerless Derby, who sacked Marcus Schopp on Monday. Blackburn Rovers 0, Fulham 2. Van Eck sent off for Blackburn on 30 minutes, but they're already 2-0 down at that point, thanks to goals from Niskins Cabana and Championship leading goal scorer Alexander Mitrovic. Blackpool 0, Stoke City 0 is another second half-time score that's just gone into this second half. Bournemouth 0, Preston 0, another half-time scoreline. Second half just started in that one. Cardiff 0, QPR 1 is another half-time score, with Andre Gray getting the goal for QPR at the Cardiff City Stadium. He is a former Burnley man, as JB rightly mentioned during the goal update on the commentary. And West Bromwich Albion 0, Hull City 0 is the other game in the Championship. In the MLS, in the early hours of this morning, Los Angeles Football Club drew 1-1 with Vancouver Whitecaps. Fall equalising first half stoppage time for Los Angeles after Jamja put Vancouver Whitecaps in front on 40 minutes. 2 matches later in the MLS, Club Football Montreal take on Houston Dynamo, and New York Red Bulls take on Atlanta United. Those are at 11:30 this evening. I just want to say a very big happy birthday to the man behind Trevor Sports. Who set up that channel. Happy birthday, my friend. Hopefully you have in a fantastic day from myself and from JB and from all of your Trevor Sports followers and all everyone here at the commentary as well. All our listeners and our commentators send you a very happy birthday to you, my friend. And let's get back to the match we've been watching then. And Liverpool are leading 2-0 at the break against 10-man Atletico Madrid. And I'm afraid you've got to say Liverpool do deserve to be leading at the break.
Yes, absolutely. It's surprising there's only 2-0. They've had a fair few chances. Jota later on in the second half could have made it 3-0, but I'm sure they'll get a few more goals in the second half. They've never won 4 of the first group games in the Champions League, but they've got a great chance to do so and create history tonight. Yes, it would be 4 out of 4 wins if they get across the line in the second half. But yeah, they've been excellent, Liverpool, and Atletico Madrid just haven't been at the races today. And Simeone won't be happy, and I'm sure he'll be telling his players exactly that in the dressing room. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Just before we get more into in-depth coverage of the Liverpool game and analysis at the break, a couple of goal updates in the Championship to tell you about. Barnsley have now took the lead for the first time in the match against Derby County. Manager was Barnsley, as I mentioned. Aaron Iseka on 50 minutes, 5 minutes into the second half. They now lead 2-1 against Derby County. And then also in the Championship, Bournemouth, who were top of the table and going fairly well in recent weeks, trailed by a Ben Wyman goal 2-0 against Preston North End. That goal came on 52 minutes there as well. But just how good have Liverpool been in front of goal? You've 2 assists from Trent Alexander-Arnold, both set up the 2 fantastic goals for the Reds. Sadio Mane with the second, Diego Jota with the first. But how good has Trent Alexander-Arnold been this evening for you, Frey? I think he's been one of the best players for Liverpool so far, along with Salah and obviously the 2 players who have gone on the score sheet as well.
Yeah. All of Liverpool players have been great tonight. There's no poor performances for either of them. But like you say, Trent's been excellent so far. 2 assists from the right-hand side with his right foot. His crosses are unbelievable, and both Jota and Mane have been able to get on the end of it. And yeah, he's been great. And so it continues in the second half. Let's hope so.
Yes, and if you just look at the Atletico Madrid, obviously down to 10 men, I think it was going to get booked because he kept walking away, and when referee called him to come here, he just continued to walk away and ignore the referee. I'm just seeing the incident now. I think the referee thought, instead of getting the booking which you were going to get for the foul, you've ignored my instructions of coming to come and get your yellow card, and that's I think that's why Philippe got sent off there. But also, just seeing the challenge again, it could have been for a stamp on back of the foot and back of the ankle from Philippe, which saw him get sent off in the end, Freya. What do you have to make about that red card there? Do you reckon it was deserved for Philippe there for failing to follow instructions and also due to the foul as well?
Yes, absolutely. It was a poor challenge from behind on Mane. He had absolutely no chance of catching him. That's why he took him down just before the halfway line. Silly challenge, really, considering where Mane was, but he's a fast player, so he thought he had to take him down, and that's what he did. But then from then on, he got a yellow card from the referee. He argued that, but then walked off. The referee wanted to call him back, and he was having none of it. The player just ignored the referee, and the referee gave him a few chances to call him back, and the player did not follow the referee's instructions and earned himself a second yellow, and he rightly got sent off. 10 men for Atletico Madrid in the second half.
Yes, and like you touched on in commentary, it was like that in the last game against Liverpool as well when Antoine Griezmann got sent off, which is why Griezmann's not involved tonight. But looking at the Atletico Madrid have been playing, Fred, do you reckon, what things do you think need to change for Diego Simeone's side if they're not to get anything out of this? Is it a case of fetching another player on off of the bench, or do they really need to just use more creativity from Carrasco and Trippier to get the balls into Yao Felix and Suarez. What do you think needs to change for Atletico Madrid?
Well, it's difficult because they are down to 10 men, and no one stands out on the bench for me to bring on. I'm sure he'd be saying to his players, get João Felix and Luis Suarez on the goals. I'm sure Suarez will be desperate to get a goal at Anfield. But yeah, there's not a lot he can say. They've been really poor. They're down to 10 men, and the least he can say is let's not concede more, because I can't see them getting back into this game, although they were 2-0 down against Liverpool last time out, and they eventually lost, of course, 3-2, but they did put up a fight, and maybe they'll do so in the second half.
Yes, absolutely, Fred. And just before we get your thoughts on what Liverpool need to do, if they need to change anything or just continue the way they are, another goal update in the Championship to tell people about, and that is now, if you're a Burnley fan, you'll be loving this scoreline. Blackburn Rovers 0, Fulham 3. Harry Wilson with the goal on 54 minutes with the goal there. So Fulham going fairly well in the Championship this evening. And looking at Liverpool then, Fred, obviously 2-0 up, creating a lot of chances, could be more in front. Is there anything that you think Klopp will be saying to his side, or do you reckon he'll be saying more of the same? And does he really need to change anything at this moment in time for you?
For me, it'd be saying same again, pretty please. Yeah, they've been excellent, like I've said previously. He might want to bring on Thiago in the second half to get him some game time. He's obviously been out with injury, so he's on the bench, and Liverpool fans will be loving to see him back on the pitch. I'm sure he'll make a feature in the second half. But yeah, it'll be more of the same from Klopp. I'm sure I'd be hoping if they follow how they did in the first half, they could be winning this game 3-4, 5-0.
Yes, I was about to say, obviously you said it was going to be 2-1 earlier, but looking at that, it could be more goals than the two for Liverpool. Could have at least been 3, maybe 4-0 up or already with the amount of chances they've had. And obviously Divock Origi on the bench, who knows how to score a brilliant goal in the Carabao Cup just a week ago against Preston in a game which Mike Arneman covered for us. Roberto Firmino on the bench as well, knows where the net is. Obviously Minamino knows where the net is as well. Thiago's scored a few as well, but obviously on the pitch, Salah knows where the net is. Jota and Mane know where the net is. Obviously they've already scored tonight. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's already known where the net is as well, and be interesting to see if Liverpool do make any changes, which of the players do go off, or whether he decides to rest some of the players ahead of a big game in the Premier League this coming weekend, and trying to make amends for last week's when the game against Brighton, when they drop points when they go to West Ham this weekend, which is not going to be an easy place to go on Sunday afternoon to the London Stadium. And so very interested to see what Liverpool do in that respect. Do you reckon that Klopp will probably rest a few of the players, Freya, from tonight to ahead of that big game on Sunday against West Ham United?
Yeah, like you say, it's a very big game. West Ham are in great form, sitting fourth place in the Premier League. Yeah, so they'll probably be looking at taking the likes of Salah, Mane, and probably even Jota as well, just to save their legs ready for the big game on Sunday. But whoever they take on or take off or bring on, they'll still be having the same result in my eyes. There's the 3 points for Liverpool in this game, and they'll be through to the last 16.
Yeah, so with the teams just about to merge from the tunnel right now, teams just heading out, and it looks as though Liverpool are about to make a change. It's time for me to head back to your match commentary team of Freya Clovier. And first of all, before I do that, it's 4-0 Fulham now, JB, so you'd be happy to hear that. Harry Wilson has got his second of the evening for Fulham, and Bournemouth have just equalised on the hour mark against Preston. It's Blackburn 0, Fulham 4, Harry Wilson 58 minutes, and Bournemouth 1, Preston 1, Phil Billing on 60 minutes. And with an half-time substitution for Liverpool and the second half about to go underway, let's hand over to Freya Clovier and first, JB.
Thanks, Russ. Welcome back, everybody. And Luis Suarez is having a few words with the referee, Danny McAlery. It's a half-time change. Marnie has gone off, and on his place comes Bobby Firmino. Really well done there to Fulham. 4-0 up at where is a great result. And as a Burnley fan, I'm absolutely delighted that I'm not so keen on Fulham myself, obviously, for obvious reasons. But rather than Blackburn Rovers, that's for sure. Anyway, we're back underway at Anfield. No changes from Atletico Madrid, of course, down to 10 men, of course. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold on the ball already in the second half. Down to 10 men, of course, so that's sending off earlier on in the piece. And Freya is just doing the 50 yards to join me in the comment box here for alternate commentary later on in a few moments. Well, she'll be with me in a few seconds. It's Van Dijk gets the possession here midway inside the Atletico Madrid half. As Freya was saying in the half-time interval just before Ross handed back to me, as we'll just break off for a second because Firmino was about to turn in the area, but good last-ditch challenging there. But there's Firmino now, or Fabinho. Here's Salah, hits a defender and goes away for a corner. We've had a minute of the second half, and Liverpool starting on the front foot as Mozo turns away. Remember, Jimenez. It might have been actually Carrasco who got the red card. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to work out who it was because I was away at the time. But anyway, we'll come to Freya in a second with her opinion on how the game might go in the second half. As Liverpool prepare to take a corner, it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it from the near side. In it goes towards the 6-yard area. It's turned out for a Liverpool throw-in. And Trent Alexander-Arnold will reload again. Throws it into the area. Tries to catch Atletico Madrid on the hop. And in the end, the ball is out of play. And I think that's a corner. It is a corner. No, it's not. It's a goal. Yes, it is a corner. And it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it again. Right-hand side once more. It was the same corner which led to a Rigi score in that never-to-be-forgotten semi-final 3 years ago against Barcelona, with the one where Liverpool had to come from 3 goals down to win 4-3 on aggregate, I think, something like that. One of the great semi-finals of all time. We'll keep you updated with all the latest scores. Now we can bring Freya in for what she thinks might happen in this second half. And interesting that Marnie's gone off and Firmino's gone on. Maybe with the weekend in mind, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. Klopp would be looking ahead at the game on Sunday. It's against West Ham away. It's a massive game. West Ham are on fire at the moment, both in the league and in the League Cup and the Europa League. So yeah, he's brought off Mane, who's on the score sheet today.
Well, here's a chance here for Jota, and there's the third one. I have to interrupt you because Mane and Robert Jota's made it 3, and that's his second of the match. And it does go to 3. They will check it again on VAR whether he was offside or not. But I think again the finish was clear cut. It was under Oblak's legs. And Jurgen Klopp's side are in fine fettle. They're going to move to 12 points out of 12 and Champions League qualification if this stands. I'm just going to check if it's offside or not before bringing Freya in. Oh, that looks very close. I think it might just get chalked off here, Freya. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very tight. It could get chalked off. I'm just having another look on my screen, on my monitor below me here in the press box.
And
that's very tight. It's very tight.
Yeah, well I'm telling you now. Yeah, Paul van der Broek is checking the goal now as we speak. Well, as soon as I can make out, Danny McAlery. We don't see these reruns on our monitor here, so it's basically in the referee's discretion. And the goal does not stand, I don't think. Well, no, it doesn't stand by the look on Jota's face. It doesn't look as if it was. So the scoreline will stay at 2-0 rather than 3. And that's the reason why. That's a tight one. It's similar to the one on Saturday at Burnley where Wood was probably a toenail offside, when Maxwell Cornet prodded in from 2 yards out. That's just about as close as you could get there, Freya. And that is, I think, the ruling for VAR where it's going to be more freedom for the attacker, I think it's completely the opposite as far as I'm concerned. I'd have given him the benefit of the doubts, quite honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame goals like that aren't just given. there's no advantage for the attacker there. It's a toenail. A toenail wouldn't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Should be 3-0, but I'm sure they get a third in a few minutes.
Well, it might be a few minutes. It might be the 90th minute. We don't know. But one thing is for sure, it's still 2-0 to Liverpool. And you're listening to the TC Hub live alternate commentary on Liverpool and against Atletico Madrid with myself, JB, John Stuttard and Freya Clavier in the commentary box. Our little answer to Karen Carney. And here's Jordan Henderson on the ball. Finds Firmino now midway inside the Atletico half and feeds Trent Alexander-Arnold, who can't keep that in play, and it will be a throw-in for Atletico Madrid. And really, the referees had to have. This is the incident again. It was Felipe. I think it's Felipe got sent off. Actually, that was the clip on Marnie, and he was going to get booked for that, I believe. And then obviously, Felipe spoke way out of turn, and the referee, as I was saying earlier, is a referee that absolutely stands completely and utterly no nonsense, and set the lad off. And once again, they haven't learned their lessons from 2 weeks ago when Griezmann was sent off, and it's proving costly for them now because I think they've missed the industry and the skill and the creativity of Griezmann. As Salah turns his man brilliantly, and he's into the penalty area. It's Mo Salah straight at goal. Salah tries to chip it. The ball breaks free, and it's hooked away by the Paul almost on the goal line. We all thought that Salah was going to make it 3, but the goalkeeper stood up, and you have to say good defending too by Jimenez as well in the build-up. Definitely onside as he rolls his opponent there. And for a moment, Freya, I thought Salah was going to get his goal, but good save, as I say, from Albright.
Yes, absolutely. It looked as though it was 3-0. Salah, you'd expect him to score. The form he's been in recently this season, you'd back him to score. You have to look at it, though, earlier on in the play before he gets into the box. Could he have squared it earlier to Jota, and maybe even Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Well, there's a chance now. Oh, it's just gone wide from Matip inside the penalty area. Sorry, Freya, as the corner was being taken. And Joel Matip had a glorious opportunity again, Freya, to make it 3.
Yeah, just watching it back on my screen as well. 3-0, it's coming. It's got to come soon, I think. Great chance from Matip. If it was anyone else, it would be 3-0, but he's a defender, so maybe not.
Yeah, and João Felix went amongst all that for some peculiar reason. I can't see what it was for, but it's a yellow card for him, presumably for complaining or for... it was the challenge there. There was a challenge there, and a horrible challenge on Firmino. And Atletico Madrid, it's got to be said, at this point in time, are completely and utterly losing their discipline, and that is not good to see. And we could do without all this, quite honestly, because it's ruining the enjoyment for every neutral inside the stadium of what has been a terrific game of football so far. And Liverpool are the team playing football. There's no doubt about that. They've, on the eye, they look absolutely first rate. And you look at their opponents and you think, what a ragtag side they are, without being disrespectful. It really is. Inter Milan have taken the lead. Brazovic, after 54 minutes, is the score in that game. So Brazovic has scored. We're 53 and a bit minutes into this second half. And the ball is knocked into the byline, and a chance for free. Is it? Oh, just wide from 6 yards from Jota. He's close to getting that second goal, and Liverpool, in the space of about 8 second half minutes, could have scored the third goal. And Jota, it has to be said, Freya, as we watch the replay back, has had 2 of those chances and should have scored. In fact, it actually came off his shoulder rather than his head.
Yeah, he should have scored a similar header in the first half, at the end of the first half, and he should have scored there. He didn't quite meet it right, and like you say, it's hit his shoulder. He's missed his head completely. But yeah, he should be scoring from there, just on the edge of the 6 yard. What's that, 8 yard? But wow, how has he missed that? That's poor from him.
Yeah, and while Spray was talking, I've also seen another replay of the offside decision, and it must have been centimetres, if that, and maybe millimetres in actual fact. Not that it's mattering too much at the moment. Liverpool looking so comfortable and so assured on the ball, and fully deserving of their 2-goal advantage, which will take them to 12 points. And as Freya said earlier, guaranteed qualification, which means if Klopp chooses to, for the last 2 games of the group stage, he could actually rest players, because obviously they're still in with a shout at the Champions League. They're still in a shout with the title race, and they're in the Carabao quarterfinals. This the right-footed shot came in from Jordan Henderson. It was well charged away. But I tell you what, if they do qualify tonight, Freya, I think he may well rest a few key men for the last couple of games because, quite honestly, I mean, he's still in the Carabao Cup. And they're only a couple points, 2 or 3 points behind Chelsea in the title race. But I tell you what, with 10 minutes gone in the second half, if they can hold on to this 2-goal lead or maybe extend it, we'll just break off for a second. Here's João Felix. And Felix is away from Alexander Arnold, who then bites back at him. And that's terrific play. And at the moment, Freya, I think Klopp, if they can hang on and qualify, it's going to be a real luxury for him as a free kick has been won rather theatrically there by Bobby Firmino, free kick to Atletico Madrid. 2-0 Liverpool lead.
Yes, like you say, Klopp has every right to rest players if poor challenge really there by Firmino. Sorry, yeah, he should be resting players if they sit out this game, which I believe they will because they're in every other competition. So like I said, why not rest players?
Absolutely. Manchester City have taken the lead in their game against Bruges at Eastlands. That's 2-1. As the free kick comes in, there's going to be a double change being made, and Suarez has scored with the right-footed shot, and Suarez has come back to Anfield, and in fact, he's not showing any emotion. There's no celebration. He's just nonchalantly put the ball in from outside the penalty area. It may have one-footed Alisson. It may have got a slight deflection. As the free kick came in, it was headed back to Suarez. Right foot, gets a deflection off the defender. Might have been Joe Matip, in fact. And it's wrong-footed Alisson, and it's gone in the net. But Suarez turned away and ran back to the halfway line and not even celebrated one little jot. And that was probably, in the grand scheme of things, probably out of respect as the substitutions are about to remain. In fact, there's going to be a goal review here. Freya, what do you make of that one?
Wow, is it game on? Who knows the way they played in the first half? You wouldn't expect so.
Actually, Freya, they've disallowed it. It's offside. There must have been an offside in the first phase of play. And what's happened is that the goal doesn't stand. Yeah, it doesn't stand, so it stays 2-0. Confusion abounded here, and Liverpool going search number 3 here inside the area. Here's Salah turns and then knocks it wide. But, a strange
old... happening here at Anfield tonight, wow.
Strange old disallowing of the goal there, wasn't there? A Sporting Club now extend their lead to 4-0. Sabira has scored. Looks like they're going to get the wood on Besiktas here tonight. And I wonder if the number 2 there was offside, or maybe an attacking Atletico player may have been in the goalkeeper's line of sight. I think João Felix is the man offside. I'm just looking at the replay here. I know you're a little bit behind me on the monitor, but yeah, it looks as if Luis Suarez isn't going to get his goal in the end at Anfield because he's been replaced by number 16 Hector Herrera. That's one of 2 changes that the Argentine Simeone is making here at the moment. And Suarez was already several of the team that were carrying yellow cards. João Felix is the other, so it looks as if it's like for like. It's Lodi and Herrera are going to be the new attackers. But, strange old goal that, but it was chalked off for offside. Your views?
Yeah, it's difficult nowadays. The offsides are so tight, but it's the rules. So, yeah, rightly so. It's flagged offside. VAR, no goal. But, yeah, it's a tough call, that one. But
well, Russ has just, our producer, whilst Ray was talking, it was Jimenez who was flagged offside, not Felix, as I initially thought, although he was standing way, way beyond the defence. But that is what was given anyway. Fabinho has now been replaced by Thiago. What do you reckon then, Fabinho? He certainly made a difference, although Thiago has had a good start to the season himself. He's had 59 minutes. How do you think he's gone tonight, Fabinho?
Yeah, considering he's been out for a few weeks now with injury, he's done excellent tonight, and Thiago replaces him, who's also been out for injury. So this 2-0 lead gives Klopp the chance to get these players some game time. And Thiago here on the ball now, excellent little flick. He's back on the pitch at Anfield, and the fans will be loving that.
Yeah, and they're loving it even more because they're 2-0 up. There may have been a suspicion of handball against Alexander-Arnold. The referee's allowed it to go on. Chamberlain now, but he loses possession. So at least we will. If the ball had gone in, I don't think we would have had a VAR check. Thank God for that. But at the moment, here come Liverpool now attacking with Firmino inside the penalty area. Liverpool looking to get that third, and you would think game-clinching goal, but there was an infringement, free kick to Atletico Madrid. And of course, you've got a very good job in something like 25 minutes from time, because you'll be the person, Freya, that will be choosing the player of the match. And I'm sure there'll be no shortage of candidates for that one, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. It's not going to be an easy decision, that's for sure. Most of the Liverpool players have all of the Liverpool players have put in a good shift tonight, and they've got half an hour to get that man of the match award. Absolutely,
and I think it also illustrates the way they've gone about their business tonight. This was an important game that they had to win, or have to try and win, because they know that if they can get 12 points, then it takes them further away in the group, and they can't be caught with 12 points. Certainly at the moment, but it has been a tremendous performance, really, from Liverpool from start to halfway through the second half. Well, we're not actually at the halfway point of the second half yet, but they've been domineering. And the sad thing, really, when we look, when the final analysis is the way the Atletico Madrid, the attitude of the players tonight have really stunk the place out to me tonight, and that has been the one massive disappointment of this football match tonight. And I think you'll have to agree with me, Freya, at the moment, because we want to see both teams going for it. And I think as much as we've eulogized over the Liverpool performance tonight, I have to say Atletico Madrid have been, quite frankly, a disgrace tonight.
Yes, I agree totally. It's almost ruined the game, their attitude and the challenges that have been put in. They've let themselves down, and they've let the fans that have come and travelled all the way to Anfield here today, they've let them down. And as we have just under half an hour to play, you can't see them getting back into this game, and you can only see one winner. And the next team to get the goal, you have to back Liverpool. They're just the only ones with attacking threat so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and what it doesn't do really for the image of Spanish football at this point in time. We've gone past an hour here at Anfield here live on the TCL, but we've got 4 FA Cup commentaries coming soon over the weekend. We're going to be concentrating on the opposite end of the market for you this weekend, as Liverpool have possession with Thiago, threads the ball out towards the far side where Van Dijk gets possession. It's been a chastening experience this evening, really, for Atletico Madrid, as Thiago now grabs the ball here, finds Salah, who will now run into the area. Firmino flicks it round the corner, and it was a lovely little sort of back flick, almost like a Rabona type sort of flick. And here's an effort from Van Dijk, who just shaves the crossbar. He can, when they stay hit from Van Dijk, they certainly do stay hit, and he hit that right-footed shot really well. It just maybe shaved the crossbar and flew and whizzed into the cup. No, it didn't shave the crossbar, but it whizzed into the cup all right. Goal kick.
What a shot from Van Dijk, and that's your centre-back doing that. That shows the confidence of the Liverpool team this season. They've been excellent so far, and I think they'll continue the form for the rest of the season.
Goal involving Preston North End. McCann for Preston North End. Bournemouth 1, Preston North End 2. And North End needing a result in that game because their under-fire manager needs a result. Preston have not been too good of late, but they played Liverpool in the Cup at Deepdale last week and were done by a moment of pure genius from Divock Origi as the ball was played into the area. But Alisson very comfortable in there. And Carrasco and one of the Liverpool players there, I can't tell you who it is, it's actually Chamberlain, having a little bit of a collision as we go past the 64th minute now, as we hit the 64th minute. Just to remind you of a couple of my French channels coming up. Trevor Sports, you may We mentioned Trevor there. Well, Trevor himself celebrates his birthday today. Happy birthday, Trevor, from everybody at the TC Hub. Myself, Freya, and Russ, of course, a.k.a. Trevor Gubber. I play Trevor Motson. And, of course, on Friday night, funnily enough, the same time as Russ goes live with the FA Cup game, he'll also be on Trevor Sports as well. Here's Firmino and how to play for a goal kick. But Trevor Sports is currently rerunning the Euro 96 tournament. We wonder if England had, what we're trying to answer is, could England have won it? That's the question. Well, the second group games will take place and we'll have a full roundup including England against Scotland. That's on Trevor's channel at 8 o'clock. And then coming up on CW's channel, the Sports Network. And if you're a Formula One fan, you might love this, actually. We'll just break off for a second, offside given. The Rise of Ravenwest. It's from the F1 2021 platform. And it's been modded by my good friend CW. And basically, it's Mick Schumacher and Nico Hulkenberg are going to be the new drivers. But if you want to watch the full trailer, you can watch that on CW's channel. And, of course, we've got on the TC Hub, we've got 4 live commentaries coming up in the FA Cup, which I'll tell you all about in a minute. Do you like your F1?
I can't say I watch it all the time, but I know Lewis Hamilton, if that makes a difference to the conversation.
Well, everyone knows Lewis Hamilton. I think he's probably one of the best-known Formula One drivers. Anyway, the Rise of Ravenwest coming soon to the CW Sports Network channel. And of course, we'll tell you about those commentaries as soon as we get a breaking play here at Anfield. Liverpool leading by 2-0. We're past the 20-minute mark of the second half. So here's Matip now for Liverpool. Into Thiago, who came on as a substitute. And here's Alexander-Arnold. And it's all-out football for Liverpool at the moment. 66 gone. Here's Virgil van Dijk to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool really warming up with some crucial games coming up. Of course, it's going to be very busy the next couple of months here on the TC Hub with Christmas and New Year fixtures and the build-up to Christmas, of course. Lots of midweek Premier League games in between. And you'll be able to hear the games that matter alternately here on the TC Hub. Here's Jota inside the area. Oh, he was shoved there surely by Trippier. He was clearly shoved, and the referee, I'm not sure what he's giving here, but when the ball even went out of play, Trippier, they gave him a bit of a shove. Now, I'm disappointed with Trippier because this is not what I expect from a player of Trippier's class. It's a corner kick anyway, but Kieran Trippier, that he would never have done that at Burnley. Sean Dyche would not have allowed it. Anyway, Miscats to take the corner then from this right-hand side, in it goes. There's a Liverpool player gone tumbling. Referee had a good look at it. So fit not to give anything. All Black takes the catch. Bit of petulance there from Trippier. That's not the player I knew and loved at Burnley, I've got to say. And there's been a goal there. Fulham have gone 6-0 up against Blackburn Rovers. We've lost Freya for a second or two. We'll try and get it back as soon as we can. So apologies there. But here's Oxlade-Chamberlain. And now the ball is, there's a notacious attempt there from the halfway line. And it was from Angel Correa. We've had 67 minutes. We're halfway through the second half. Liverpool leading 2-0. And, we're just looking at the incident there with Jota. And that looked a penalty again. I can't believe the referee's letting Atletico Madrid get away with all this. What do you reckon, Freya?
Yeah, it's a tough one. You like to see a physical game, but I do think he's pushed him there, and it could be a penalty. But at the moment, they haven't given it. I don't know if the VAR are still looking at it though. The ball has gone out of play, but it has been. No, it's an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain injury. He hasn't had much luck when it comes to injuries, and it looks like he could be coming off here. Yeah,
Velasco, the Croat, and Junga has come on. Yannick Carrasco is one of the players substituted. So Atletico Madrid have now used 4 substitutions. And as Ray Clovier says, that Oxlade-Chamberlain is down on his orges, and he wouldn't want another injury blow because he's had a lot of injury problems over the years, Oxlade-Chamberlain. When you go back to his days at Arsenal, he was injured quite a lot, and I hope that's a precautionary measure, and he's been saved for future battles. But he seems to be okay. I think he'll be okay, to be honest with you. But you can't take many risks with Oxlade-Chamberlain, considering his injury record, really.
No, that's true. He's been out a fair bit since that horror injury against Roma. I think it was the semi-final of the Champions League when Liverpool got to the final against Real Madrid, but they obviously lost with Ronaldo and Bale getting on the score sheet.
Yeah, and a mistake by Karius, of course, in that game. And Salah was injured, of course, in the final as well, you may remember. I also did that game back in 2018, and what a disappointment night that was for Liverpool that night. And it will always be remembered for one of the most sublime pieces of pure genius from Gareth Bale ever seen in a European Cup final, when he overhead kicked it past Karius into the back of the net. One of the greatest goals of European Cup final history, eclipsing Zidane's against Leverkusen in 2002. 20 minutes to go at Anfield, and it's going to be another cracking night for Liverpool Football Club in Europe. They've had so many down the years, since Etienne in 77. Who can ever remember Gerald Sinstad's commentary of David Fairclough scoring the third? Super sub strikes again. But here's another super sub, Thiago in the present day, gets it out to the far side. Can Liverpool finish the night with a flourish? They know even with a 2-0 win, they've got enough points in the bag to get them through and take their foot off the gas for the final two games, considering that they're still in Europe and, well, considering they're still in the Carabao, and with Manchester City out of that, they'll fancy their chances. So too will Chelsea and West Ham and a couple of other good teams left in there, Arsenal too. No foul there inside the Liverpool half on an Atletico Madrid player, so it's play on. And the number of Atletico Madrid players gone down writhing in agony inside the centre circle, and I can't tell who it is. Thiago's been spoken to by the referee. I can't see who it is, actually, for the life of me. His numbers are sort of back to me at the moment. It's Firmino involved, and it's DePaul there. And I don't think there's anything too malicious involved there. I think DePaul is just making a meal of it slightly, and it has been for most of the night, quite honestly. But it's a free kick to Atletico Madrid nonetheless.
Yeah, completely agree. He's made a meal of that, and has brought the attention of the referee, and that's what he was after. And he's got himself a free kick. But yeah, he screamed there when he definitely didn't need to. Yeah,
that does annoy me a little bit when players try to over-regulate a little bit, throw in there. But it's been some goal action as well to bring you up to date with. Raheem Sterling, former Liverpool player, scored for Manchester City. They lead Club Brugge by 3-1. And in the Championship, West Bromwich Albion lead for a Carl Grant goal after 69 minutes against Hull, who desperately need a result themselves to get themselves out of that chasing in problems they have at the moment. Right in the bottom three at the moment. They can't buy a win at the moment, but West Brom looking like they're responding from that defeat against Fulham the other day in the very best possible way. Corner to be taken by Trippier while I was reading out all those score lines. John Stuttard and Freya Clavier, your commentary team for this, alternate commentary team for this Champions League encounter, and it's been a wonderful experience. First time I've ever commentated with a woman, with a female, and I've absolutely loved every minute. And Freya has been a very easygoing colleague tonight. There's no doubt about it. But,
hopefully not the first and then last time tonight.
I hope not too, because you've been absolutely a joy to work with, and you've got about 15 minutes to choose a player of the match. By the way, it is Commentary Hub tradition that if we have a co-commentator, they choose the player of the match. Anyway, here come Atletico Madrid on the break, and here is DePaul, edge of the area. There's a player free, and there's a chance here for a goal, and it's been pulled wide, and it was Herrera who got through on the far side, their right-hand side. And they pulled the shot well wide of the left-hand post, Rayo, unfortunately. But that was a genuine chance there for Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, that's poor from him. He should be getting on target from that sort of range. That should be 2-1 there. But, yeah, I didn't predict that.
Well, you're only one goal away at the moment. That is for sure. And I can just hear Freya and Russ talking about where he met the Ox. Rotherham United's training ground, you'll be unsurprised to know. Anyway, Firmino is now gone off. The substitute has been substituted. Presumably he's picked up an injury and he's walking down the tunnel as I speak. Correa is also going off as well. And Serrano is going to come on. Javi Serrano is going to take his place. Looks a little bit like Lionel Messi in his youth, actually. But so Mane's been... And it looks like Minamino is going to replace Firmino. That's a real blow, really, for Bobby Firmino, Freya, considering he came on and now unfortunately he's picked up a bit of a knock.
Yeah, that's not good to see. Klopp would have wanted to bring him on just to rotate and get Mane off to rest him for the West Ham game. So the fact that he's gone off it is quite worrying, considering they got a big game on the weekend against West Ham.
Yeah, and his body language suggests that he wasn't too pleased about it. But Mane and Jota with the goals that are separating these two big European powerhouses at the moment. And Atletico Madrid will be quite worrying that Milan have now started to score. They got a draw earlier this evening in a 1-1 draw against Porto, who are now second in the group. And Porto will be delighted about this result because it gives them a chance now to maybe qualify and gives AC Milan half a chance to close the gap on Atletico Madrid and possibly Porto if they can get big results in the next two games. And Atletico Madrid drop points, although Liverpool have got to go to Milan later on in the thing, and it might play into Milan's hands if he decides to opt to play a weakened team for that one. So AC Milan, even though they've got 1 point from their first 4 games, are not out of this by any stretch. Let's not forget that. Anyway, here's Thiago now for Liverpool, leading 2-0 with 76 minutes of the game gone. And it's been a bit of a stroll, really. Second half has just flown by and it's drifted by. And I have to say, the performance from the Spaniards, I mean, it's not good for La Liga, which a few years ago had a terrific reputation of being one of the best leagues in the world. But unfortunately, its reputation has really took a hit. The likes of Ronaldo and Messi being forced to leave. Barcelona and Real Madrid in dire straits financially. Of course, there's the salary cap rule as well. And Spanish football, really, it used to be very, very good viewing, but I think it's flogging a dead duck at the moment, I should say, as Jota turns nicely and finds Alexander Arnold over on the far side. And here's Virgil van Dijk and here's Jordan Henderson. Can Liverpool finish with a flourish? They've got 13 minutes to find a third and really finish with a flourish. And Salah's beaten 2 men, got to the byline, but good defending there by Copy or Lopi, I think it is. And we're going to see Divock Origi come on as well. Remember Divock Origi? In fact, it's Firmino that's gone off and Origi's gone on. We thought it was going to be Minamino, but it isn't. He's decided actually Klopp to play Divock Origi. Now, he was the man who got 2 goals against Barcelona, you may remember, 3 years ago in that epic semi-final when Liverpool came from 3-0 down after the first leg to win 4-3 on aggregate. And Oxlade-Chamberlain is going off, and now Minamino is going to come on. We cleared that up in the end. So, yeah, I think Klopp's doing the right thing now at this point, Freya. He's bringing 1 or 2 of the fringe players on and giving them a little bit of game time. I think that's good management.
Yeah, definitely. Klopp spoke in the week about Oxlade-Chamberlain managing his game time. He's had minutes. He had 70 minutes coming on against Brighton. He played 90 minutes against Preston. And now he's had nearly 80 tonight. So he'll be looking to start him again on Sunday against West Ham. But yeah, get Minamino and Origi on now. Get them some game time. It is great management, like you said, from Klopp. So see the game out.
Yep. Meanwhile, free kick against Matip. There's been some goals in the Champions League. Borussia Dortmund 1, Ajax Amsterdam 1, Dusan Tadic, ex-Southampton goal with 18 minutes to spare there, but over in Dortmund, and there's been a goal in the Championship, and it's good news for Fulham fans, for all Fulham fans and Burnley fans everywhere. It's Blackburn Rovers 0, Fulham 7. All the pressure is mounting on Mr. Mowbray now at Ewood. Muniz has scored the 7th for Fulham. seventh heaven for Barry Swain's Fulham this evening. Barry Swain, of course, our big boss here at the TC Hub, the man who jointly set this up with Russ and Mike. Kenny Dalglish. Now you remember him. Well, you won't remember him playing. I'm just about old enough to remember him playing. I certainly remember him as Liverpool manager the first time round when he was winning league and cup doubles and championships every year. It's good to see Kenny there.
Yeah, good to see him in the stands watching on. He's probably been impressed, and he'd be happy to manage this team. They've been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, I think the game's moved on a bit since Dalglish was the manager there. He's had two spells at Liverpool, incidentally. Of course, he had a spell at the start of the last decade, the 2010s, when he replaced Roy Hodgson for a couple of years. Won the League Cup, of course, in that time. But of course, since then, success was very hard to come by until Klopp came to the club. Brendan Rodgers, they almost won the league, of course, but famously blew a 3-goal lead at Crystal Palace, which cost them the title. That year it went to Manchester City, if memory serves me right. Chelsea also helped City out by winning here at Anfield, amazingly, when Gerrard slipped. So
yeah, through to Demba Ba. I think everyone knows that moment.
Demba Ba, that's a name from the past as well. Came to prominence at Newcastle, of course, but it's Ole football here with 80 minutes gone. We're coming up to 81 minutes gone here in the Champions League. Group B action for you tonight here on the TC Hub. And it's been a really good performance from Liverpool thus far. They've had to beat what's in front of them. Atletico Madrid have not had really good grace tonight. His behaviour has been very unsportsmanlike, and it's been very disappointing as Liverpool keep possession, but Old Black takes the cross. Who's now taking over the captaincy now off Atletico Madrid. As we now go into the final 9 minutes plus any injury time to be added on here at Anfield. And Diego Simeone knows his team have now got a massive problem on their hands now in terms of possible qualification for this last 16. And it's been a chastening night, but many European teams have gone to Anfield and over the years, Freya, and have absolutely come a cropper.
Well, I got the stats here. Last 7 in the Champions League for Liverpool, they've won 4 and only lost 2. You can't really back any team that travels to Anfield.
Mind you, this is going back to the Shankly days of the 1960s and 70s. They should have won the European Cup in '66, but were robbed by Inter Milan in the semi-finals. Some iffy refereeing in the second leg. Here's Salah winning into the penalty area, but again, well stopped again. 1977 was the first of 6 European triumphs, of course. That match I was talking about against St Etienne when David Fairclough scored. And then they had that glorious night in Rome where they won 3-1. Tommy Smith on his final appearance scored for Liverpool then. The Anfield Iron, they used to call him. If you're not sure, Freya, what I'm talking about, ask your dad, because he'll tell you exactly who Tommy Smith was.
Very hard quality stats.
Yeah, very hard man indeed he was, but he scored with a header, believe it or not. And then in '78, Keegan was replaced by Dalglish. They won the European Cup by beating Bruges at Wembley. '81, Alan Kennedy with the goal in Rome against Real Madrid, Paris against Real Madrid, and then Bruce Grobbelaar in '84. Steven Gerrard with a comeback in 2005 against AC Milan, and of course 3 years ago, Jordan Henderson leading Liverpool to a 2-0 win over Tottenham, as you mentioned earlier. But they've got vast experience. They've won the UEFA Cup a few times. The European Cup Winners' Cup is something they've never actually won, Liverpool. Well, now it's very much defunct. As the ball lifted in by Salah. And I think that's the only blot on Liverpool's copybook that Mr. Salah hasn't managed to score one for the tally tonight. But sometimes, Freya, in a lot of circumstances, he's only human.
Yeah, like you said, he's only human, but then again, there's still 5 minutes left, so don't talk too soon with Salah.
Absolutely. And Alexis Sanchez has just scored for Inter Milan, it's Sheriff 0. Not the Sheriff of Nottingham. Sheriff Trabzonspor 0. Inter Milan 3. Unless it was, what I mean by the Sheriff of Nottingham, if you've never read Robin Hood, you've not lived. But Sheriff 0, Inter Milan 3. So Inter Milan winning well away from home as they appeal for handball. Origi's shot hit a defender, but it didn't hit him on the arm, according to Mr. McAleary, the referee, who's had to have eyes in his back of his head, quite frankly. And Freya will have to get a thinking cap on because he's 3.5 minutes from now, the 88th minute. I will be asking her for a player of the match. So I hope you've got your thinking cap on, Freya, as Thiago now feeds Salah on the right-hand side. Salah into the penalty box. Salah now knocks the ball across, and a chance here for Jota on the volley. It comes to Minamino, who sticks the ball in the net, but the goal isn't going to count. High foot in the penalty area by Jota, and Trippier was the man that was fouled. And what's the referee giving here? Yellow card for Diego Jota.
Yeah, no goal, and rightly so. It's a high foot from Jota. Nearly hits Kieran Trippier right in the face. So yeah, no goal. Still 2-0 now. 2-0 now. 2-0 now? 2-0, I should say.
Well,
so many nils. That's how bad Atletico have been.
Well, no one could blame you, really. Sometimes when you do commentary, and I've been doing this game for 6 years now on different platforms, JB Sports originally, and now the TC Hub. It's sometimes there's certain games that you just make sure that it goes away with the fairies sometimes. But Liverpool have been good value. They did stick the ball in the net a few seconds ago, but as Freya quite rightly said, it was chalked quite rightly out for an offside decision. And, it's been a chasing experience now. And Atletico Madrid, they'll have to go back to La Liga with their tails between their legs. They've been a disgrace to Spanish football tonight. There's no doubt about that. Their gamesmanship, their play acting, and their petulance and their ill-discipline have really been there for all to see. And they've been shown up really as Origi now goes into the penalty area. As we're now 4 minutes from the end here at Anfield. And the ball is getting given away to Salah. Alexander-Arnold now on the right. Chips the ball back towards Origi, who gets the header in, but it's headed out. Henderson now will try the right footer drive, and it's straight down Jan Holbach's throat. And Atletico Madrid for the minute anyway. Freya survive. Good right-footed effort from Henderson. Still remains 2-0.
It's a great strike from Henderson. He scored a goal from outside the box against Brighton on the weekend, and he was looking to add to his goal tally this season there. But safe hands by Oblak.
Yeah, and whilst we were talking about Oblak, Kieran Trippier is injured. I think he's probably suffering double vision from that Jota high foot a few moments ago. Danny McAleary decided to bring the physio on. And we've got about 3 minutes to go here. And Trippier sounds as if he's in a bit of a bad way. And ball played in there. I think it might have been another challenge from Origi rather than the Jota one. He's been in the walls the last couple of minutes, the former Burnley man. Started his career off at Manchester City, born in Bacup, believe it or not. Just outside, not far from Burnley, actually. Bacup, but Rosendale area. So he's quite a local lad.
Anyone would think you're a Burnley fan.
Well, I do know the area as well, Freya. I'm a proper Northerner. I'm a proper Lancastrian. Chicken bowl.
I'll give you that.
Meat and tatty pie, and that's what we say up here. Yeah. When you come to Lancashire, you're expected to speak the lingo. Anyway, it's the Paul on the ball now for Atletico Madrid. No pun intended, by the way. The Paul on the ball. 2-0 it is, and in a few moments, we'll bring you a goal update from Germany. Borussia Dortmund 1, Ajax 2. Sebastian Haller, the former West Ham player, has scored. We've had 88 minutes. I'm going to ask you, Freya, for your player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. Who's it going to be and why?
Well, it's not been an easy one. Everyone's been outstanding for Liverpool tonight, but it's that man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, the right back. He's been excellent tonight, the Scouser. And with the England squad getting announced tomorrow, he's gave Gareth Southgate something to think about. As we all know, England have a great choice of right backs, but he's shown tonight why he should be up there fighting for number one spot in that right back position.
Yeah, so Trent Alexander-Arnold is Freya Freya's choice for man in the match, and I think a decent choice as well, because when you consider the assists he's put in, assists on both the goals, he's tireless, boundless running. I think I tend to agree with you on that one as we come towards the 89th minute of the game. Still 2-0, and it's the game was really won in the first half. There were 2 up at the time when the red card was shown. It's been a very difficult night for Atletico Madrid, and that means also that the ill-disciplined could come back to haunt them. Suspensions now for the next game, and Porto and Milan will be licking their lips now, because if Atletico Madrid blow up and the likes of Porto and Milan take more points, then the Atletico Madrid, conceivably, if things don't go their way for the next 2 games, could even be out of Europe. And I'm not saying that lightly. I have to be honest with you. Here's Virgil van Dijk playing the ball in. Van Dijk gets the ball back again. Samiskas now into Jota. And we're now coming up towards the 90th minute, ball out of play for a goal kick. And it's been, as I say, a chasing inexperience for Atletico Madrid. We'll get an indication from the 4th official how much longer there's going to be added on. And he tells us 4 minutes. So All Black now would be advised to get on with it. But I think it's a possibility now that this game could be one heck of a lost cause at this moment in time.
Yeah, you've got to say it's all but done now with Liverpool 2-0 up with just under 4 minutes to go. They've played well. It's a deserved win from them, and the Atletico fans will be fuming with how their team's performed tonight, the aggression they've showed, and getting another red card isn't good for the Spanish side, especially with what's going on in that league at the moment. Absolutely
right. Well, we've got a break in play. Let me remind you, I've been meaning to do this all second half. We haven't had the chance, but we've got 4 FA Cup commentaries this weekend in 4 days. From Friday to Monday, we'll have you covered a game live per day as a shot comes in from the substitute there. In fact, it was Marcel, he wasn't one of the substitutes. He tries the attempted right-footed shot. Right, well, as I was saying, FA Cup commentaries on the TC Hub and across all platforms, including JDAP Football, JB Sports, Storm FM and TC Hub 2. Friday night, Russ Vernon will be your commentator at Kings Marsh as AFC Sudbury take on Colchester United. That's a 7:55 kickoff. We'll be on the air around about 7:45, 7:50 for that one. On Saturday, Ryan Francis will be your Fox in the Box as Banbury take on Barrow at Spencer Stadium. And a free kick has been awarded. We'll come back to that in a second because we're going to see a yellow card in just a second. But free kick nonetheless given. But at Spencer Stadium, wait for us on Saturday, will be Ryan Francis, who will be taking you through all the action that matters in that game between Banbury and Barrow. Barrow beaten, Barrow, of course, we covered earlier on in the League Cup, beaten 6-0 by Aston Villa. I had the privilege of doing that match for the TC Hub that particular evening. And a free kick, which Trippier and De Paula are trying to figure out what they're going to do with it. And even if they do score, it's going to be no more than just pure consolation. We'll come back to the other 2 commentary games that we've got lined up for the FA Cup in a second.
I'm sure everyone listening remembers the Trippier free kick in the World Cup, but it's not him who takes that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I remember I commentated on that one too for JB Sports only. And,
is there anything you haven't commentated on?
Football from the 80s, maybe. Manchester City are 4-1 up. Gabriel Jesus has scored, and there's the free kick over the top. And it just sums up their bad night. De Paul with the free kick. And Trippier not being required there. And also there's been a red card for Besiktas. Joseph has been sent off in that game. Right, the other 2 commentary games we got Sunday. We've got St Albans against Forest Green Rovers. That's with Mike Harneman at Clarence Park. Kick-off for that one, 5:15. So too is the Banbury game, incidentally, as Trent Alexander-Arnold, our player of the match, comes off. And he will now get a good reception. And on comes Nathaniel Phillips, who was linked with a move to Burnley during the summer window, if the newspapers are to be believed. And then finally, Albion stitch you at Victoria Road for Dagenham and Redbridge against Salford City. 7:35 we start, 7:45 kickoff on Monday. Plus there'll be news of the second round draw. Of course, this is where the league teams come into being, and it gives the minnows a chance to appear on national television, with the competition now fully televised on terrestrial TV as Divock Origi tries a right-footed effort that goes way over. We've played well over the 4 minutes, and as the referee will be prepared in a few seconds to bowl for half-time, for full-time rather, Freya, your views on what's been a very, very workmanlike and very, very comfortable Liverpool display. 2-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. They basically breezed past that game, and Atletico were very poor. But yeah, goals from Jota and Mane. Seen Liverpool pick up 3 points here at Anfield tonight, and they're through. They've qualified for the last 16, and deservedly so. Unfortunately for them, it looks as though Firmino is now injured, which will be a disappointment as they go to West Ham for the game on Sunday in the Premier League. But lots of positives to take out of that for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, not so much so for Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid. But yeah, 2-0 deserved result for Liverpool. They could have had plenty more.
Absolutely, and they go to West Ham full of confidence. Let's hope the Firmino injury isn't as serious as is feared, but a satisfactory night for Jurgen Klopp. And of course, our player of the match chosen by Freya tonight is deservedly, I think, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it was a very tough one for her to call, but I thought she made the right decision. Jurgen Klopp shakes hands with the officials. Diego Simeone just stands there, cannot believe what he's just said. His team have really let him down tonight, and I think the tactics used by Simeone's team were really, really poor, and I think their attitude stunk, but and they didn't, and I'm not sure how they'll accept defeat with any real credit tonight. They've been an absolute discredit to their team this evening. But Liverpool march on now. Last 16 for them. My thanks to Freya alongside me in the commentary box. She'll stick around now for the remainder of the programme with Russ Vernon. But that's it from me. You'll see me again. You'll hear from me again on Monday evening when I commentate on that Dagenham and Redbridge versus Salford game. Remember those 4 FA Cup ties coming up over the weekend. That's our next football. But from here, it's finished here at Anfield. Liverpool 2, 10-man. Atletico Madrid 0. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much, JB and Freya Claria there for excellent commentary. We'll get the thoughts of Freya very, very shortly on what has been an impressive European night for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool this evening. Some late goals went in the Champions League. RB Leipzig, who joined now 2-2 with Paris Saint-Germain. Dominic Szoboszlai from the penalty spot in the 92nd minute, and Ajax have got a third over Borussia Dortmund. David Klaassen with the goal there in the 93rd minute. Let's just go through some of the results then in the Champions League matches this evening. Liverpool, with their win, they have qualified, so I'm wondering if Liverpool will rest some of their players in the last couple of matches. The results are in the Champions League then, so it's RB Leipzig 2, Paris Saint-Germain 2, Man City 4, Club Brugge 1 in Group A. In Group B, AC Milan 1, Porto 1, Liverpool 2, Atletico Madrid 0, which you have just heard here on the commentary hub. Group C, Borussia Dortmund 1, Ajax 3. That David Klaassen goal was a late one for them, which sealed the victory, which had already won by that point, may I point out. Sporting Club de Portugal 4, Besiktas 0, also in Group C. In Group D, the 2 results are Real Madrid 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 1, and Sheriff Tiraspol 1, Inter Milan 3, are the other scores in the Champions League this evening. Let's go through the matches in the Championship. All the results are in the Championship. Barnsley 2, Derby County 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Fulham 7, Blackpool 0, Stoke City 1, Bournemouth 1, Preston 2, Cardiff 0, QPR 1, West Bromwich Albion 1, Hull City 0. Also tonight in the women's matches, a couple of matches in the women's division, League. In the Women's League Cup, he finished Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool won 5-3 on penalties in the Women's League Cup. And in the other match in the Women's League Cup, Leicester City 1, Everton 3 is the result. In that one, in the Scottish Women's Premier League, 1, it finished Aberdeen 0, Glasgow City 5, Hamilton 0, Hibernian 1, Hearts 0, Celtic 3, Spartans 0, Partick Thistle 0, Rangers 5, and Motherwell 0. And in the Major League Soccer in the United States of America, Los Angeles FC 1, Vancouver Whitecaps 1. And if you want to look what latest other matches in that division, Club Football Montreal versus Houston Dynamo and New York Red Bulls v Atlanta United both kick off at 11:30 p.m. UK time this evening. So some great matches in the end in the Champions League. And I think, Freya, judging by the performance from Liverpool today, they could have had more. Liverpool,
yeah, absolutely.
I think we picked a brilliant game to cover tonight.
100%. Yeah, it was a great watch here at Anfield. Jota could have had a hat trick and probably should have had a hat trick with the chances he had late on in the first half and early on in the second half. But yeah, Liverpool are now 25 games unbeaten, stretching back to their loss against Real Madrid in I think it was the quarters last season. But yeah, overall, positive things to take for Klopp. He's now 3-2 in games played against Diego Simeone, so he'll be happy to get one up on him there. But yeah, Trent played excellent tonight. He was my man of the match, and I think rightly so. He's definitely shown Southgate why he should be the number one right back. But having said that, the likes of Kyle Walker, Reece James have been excellent this season. Reece James obviously scoring 2 against Newcastle on the weekend. But yeah, injury-wise, it was great to see Thiago and Fabinho back, having been out for a while now through injury. They got some minutes in their legs, and Klopp would be keen to get them back on the pitch, maybe even against West Ham or maybe after the international break. It comes at a good time for them. They've also created club history tonight by winning 4 out of 4 of their 4 opening Champions League group games. So yeah, a bit of history tonight for Liverpool and an excellent performance from all their players, but Trent in particular was excellent.
Yes, absolutely. And myself and JB and Mike also agreed that Trent was player of the match tonight. Mike even said defo Trent had an honoured player of the match, worked his socks off, and you can actually see how good Trent is. And as you mentioned with Reece James, definitely good competition for places in the England squad, which will be announced tomorrow for Gareth Southgate's selection. Headaches as well when the matches come around in the next international break, especially if Trent and Reece James and the other right backs he chooses has some decent performances of the weekend. And just before we move on to Atletico Madrid, Salah didn't get a goal tonight, but he was for me, he would have to be up there as well with Trent for player of the match tonight. I'm not sure what you thought of Salah's performance. That obviously no goal for him tonight.
Yes, of course, he had a fair few chances. He looked a threat as he always does. I think he'd be slightly disappointed he didn't put one of them away and get the goal. But like you say, he's been world class this season, and I expect him to get on the score sheet against West Ham on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're just looking now at Atletico Madrid, that goal from Suarez, rightly ruled out for offside against Jimenez tonight. He was clearly offside just beyond Fabinho, who managed to head the ball away. And if Jimenez were there, he probably wouldn't have had to head that ball away. Would have probably let it bounce over his head. But brilliant bit of play tonight for Liverpool. What did you make to the performance from Atletico Madrid? And Suarez had a goal disallowed. Obviously, said on commentary it was the right call. Do you still stand by that decision that it was a correct call to disallow it?
Yeah, it's the rules. I'm not a fan of the tight offsides. I think it should definitely be advantage to the attacker. In that case, it's not really. It's toenails, and it's disappointing to see, but it is the rules, and rightly so. It was flagged offside. But yeah, my opinions on Atletico tonight were they were really poor to watch. From a neutral, it was a killer that they got another red card and it ruined the game. And it was still a great game and Liverpool were excellent, but Atletico were disappointing tonight. And if I was a fan of theirs, I wouldn't be best pleased with their performance. Suarez would be gutted as well, not to get a goal on his comeback to Anfield. But yeah, it was poor from them tonight, and I expect a massive improvement when they play AC Milan next in the Champions League in a few weeks' time.
Yes, I would actually agree, and hopefully maybe they've got Griezmann bad then. Do you reckon Atletico may have missed the presence of Antoine Griezmann tonight at Anfield? He's another dangerous player. Do you reckon they missed them tonight?
Yes, absolutely. He's shown what he can do in the last game they played at home when they did lose 3-2, but he had 2 of the goals. Obviously, he did then get sent off for a high foot on Firmino. But yeah, they definitely missed him tonight. He would have caused Van Dijk and Matip some problems, but yeah, again the aggression and maybe it wasn't as aggressive, the high foot, but the red cards are causing Simone and his side problems, and you can't afford to keep getting players sent off and having yellow cards left, right, and centre. And yeah, Griezmann was missed tonight by his side, but that's down to his own wrongdoing. So yeah, hopefully they put up more of a fight against Milan.
Yes, absolutely, and some great matches in the Championship as well. Which, and just to let people know, in the Championship tonight, as we mentioned a few of them. I mentioned the results earlier tonight, with Bournemouth losing and Fulham winning tonight. Fulham have closed the gap now to just 2 points. So Bournemouth have now just 2 points clear of Fulham in the table. Bournemouth lost 2-1 to Preston tonight. Fulham with that 7-0 win over Blackburn Rovers, and West Brom closed the gap to Fulham to just 4 points now. So the Championship title race is going fairly, very well indeed as well. And if we just look at the Champions League groups tonight, Man City top of their group, 3 wins from 4, 1 defeat as well for Manchester City. Paris Saint-Germain in second in their group. Then it's Club Brugge. Then it's RB Leipzig. Liverpool top of their group, 4 wins from 4 and already qualified as well. So Liverpool going fairly well there. Porto in second now, a point ahead of Atletico Madrid. AC Milan bottom with a chance to potentially go third in the next round of fixtures should things go their way. Ajax top of their group, 4 wins from 4 for Ajax in the competition. They're on 12 points, and it's Dortmund in second on 6 points, just ahead of Sporting Club de Portugal, who sit in third. Real Madrid in their group, they sit top tonight. They're on 9 points, 3 wins from 4. Inter Milan second, 7 points from 4, 2 wins and a draw for them. Sheriff Tiraspol, who got that impressive win over Real Madrid when they played them at the Bernabeu, couldn't win tonight against Inter Milan. They're sitting third with Shakhtar Donetsk bottom as well, and that's just how the table is looking. If we're looking at this group, then obviously Liverpool qualified, and Mike mentioned in the chat as well, Atletico, he says Atletico very poor. I don't think they'll qualify from the group if things stay as they are. Would you agree with that? And do you think is now a chance for Porto to take advantage of that and try and go and win their next game and try and put a bit of breathing space between themselves and Atletico Madrid in the next round of fixtures in the Champions League?
Well, like me and JB were saying in commentary, I think Klopp, rightly so, will rest some players for the next games, considering they're already qualified. But yeah, it's Liverpool versus Porto next, so I kind of expect Liverpool to get the win there. So I'm not too sure. I still back Atletico to finish in second because I believe they'll get a result, whether that be a draw or win against Milan, which takes them up to at least 5 points, in my opinion. And then again, I think the game against Porto, the last game, the sixth game in the group, Porto Atletico. I think that's a massive game. I think the winner finishes second, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a tough one to call, but I'm gonna back Atletico to finish second and beat Porto on the final match day of the group.
Yes, and just one final one, nothing to do with the Champions League, but it is to regarding Liverpool. Obviously, with the performances that they've done this season, currently the only side in the Premier League to be unbeaten this term, with won 6 and drawn 4 of their 10 matches so far. Do you think that Liverpool could win the Premier League title based on what you've seen tonight and what you've seen so far of their season? Do you reckon they've got a chance of winning back the Premier League title, which they lost last year to Man City, Freya?
Yes, of course. We've seen last season they were doing well until they lost a fair few players, Van Dijk being a massive miss to them. Of course, they can win it. I do look at Chelsea and Man City, and they look strong. Man City, another win for them in the Champions League tonight. But yeah, it's a tough one to call. I think it'd be tight at the top with those three teams. Man United are looking a bit unconvincing, really. But yeah, why not? Why not? They could win the league. I think it is going to be tight though, and it's the big games where the top three play each other that's going to count come the end of the season, I think. But yeah, why not? Liverpool as champions.
Yes, and Paul's just made a really good point here regarding Liverpool in the Champions League. He says he thinks Liverpool and he thinks Jurgen Klopp will want to win the group because he says he thinks Jurgen Klopp will want to face a Bayern Munich or a PSG in the next round. Would you agree with that, or do you reckon, like you said, he'll probably rest players now they're already through, but still get the job done even with a second string side out there and finish top of the group anyway?
Well, yeah, I think I'm right in saying that they've already won the group because the team in second, Porto, are on 5 points, and there's only 6 points up for grabs, so that would leave them on 11. So no matter if Liverpool lose the next two games, they finish top. So I think he can afford to play different players. But then again, looking at their injuries in midfield, they haven't got a lot to switch in. Obviously, they can play Origi, Minamino, but other than that, it is still a strong side. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I think they've qualified and won the group. I don't think there's any chance of them coming second.
Yes, absolutely. Just going to finish off now. So thank you to everyone who's listened tonight. Thanks to Paul, to Mike, and to those in the chat this evening. A brilliant commentary from JB as always, and a brilliant to get Freya on debut on the channel. Brilliant debut as well for hopefully many more to come from Freya on the channel as well, whether it's a lead commentary or a main commentating role or co-commentating role for Freya. I'm sure she'll do a great job like she's done tonight, and I'm sure she'll going to have a good career, whether in a co-commentator or solo commentating role, main commentating role. But brilliant debut tonight, Freya. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, Freya, tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great to be involved tonight, and like you say, hopefully many more to come.
Yes, and thank you as well to JB as well. He says thanks to the lovely comments from the people in the chat this evening as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening tonight. You've been listening to the comment show from myself, Freya, and of course our main match commentator JB. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back on Friday with some FA Cup coverage.